Is this a photo or a video?
Just to make a photo.
Okay, a photo. So in that case, we're gonna do it like this.
Yes, sir. Streaming now.
Oh, live. We're doing it live. I love it. I love it. Simply because of the Twitter or Facebook or Instagram handle, it would be Don Lennon right now.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the interview or the process, we can maybe discuss some of the things we just discussed.
Exactly.
Like, it's like you said, oh shit, we should be recording this.
All right.
Also, what would be like, is what would be the most appropriate term
Oma,
or name?
I love it. I love when people call me Oma.
Yeah. I don't know if you're into anime at all or manga, but have you ever seen Kengan Ashura?
Nope.
Oh, I'm gonna drop it later. Just so it's the same way you're gonna be. Oh no, Oma Tokita.
Oma Tokito. That's crazy. Okay.
Are you at all into manga or maybe not manga, but anime?
I mean, I can't really say that I am because I know people who are really into mangas. They know because
Right.
I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball.
Okay, yeah, that was a big one for me.
But you know what it is. It's like I don't consider myself a fan of mangas actually.
Yeah,
But I love.
I'm gonna shout out some people in this if we talk. Maybe we'll have a 5-10 minute segment on that.
5-10 minute segments of shout outs only, but back to back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well, what I meant is about a manga and anime and
Yeah.
Dragon.
But we can talk about it now. What is your favorite anime?
Well,
Or manga.
honestly, I'm at the point now where I would have to say, it like, you without picking something individual, you pick something kind of like from a brand or from a verse. Like me, it would be the Naruto verse.
Okay.
So a lot of people have hated on the Boruto, which is kind of the next generation of
Yeah.
Naruto. However, right now it's the #1 manga in the world, and has been that for quite a while.
Yeah.
It beats out some of these ones like One Piece or whatever. And so ultimately, my answer is Naruto. Growing up, it was Dragon Ball, and I have to give like ultimate love to like the original. I grew up on anime before they even were really publicly calling it anime. Eventually, because I was renting video VHS, tapes and putting them in, and the three most classic ones from back in the days in the 80s were like Ghost in the Shell, Akira #1, probably Ghost in the Shell #2, and like a debatable #3, which is my personal #1 forever, even to this day. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so any anime fans out there, Ninja Scroll.
Oh shit.
The original Ninja Scroll. They had series with like episodes and like, but I'm talking about the original movie Ninja Scroll. If you look into that with Jubei Kubugami, who is like actually a Japanese legend, this is what really got me into anime.
Okay.
It's a little bit, I was very young when I got into it, and a lot of the content is very adult, but at the same time, there's always like a moral in the story and a message. Very impactful, very powerful for me as a child.
Yeah.
Until eventually there were shows on TV I didn't even know were anime. Like at first I didn't connect the dots that like, Powerpuff Girls or even Pokemon at first. Or like, because one of the first anime I think I ever saw was Samurai Pizza Cats. If you're into anime, this is a TV show with like these cats that are basically like a police force, but they work for a pizza company, so they're serving pizzas all day. But anytime there's a crime, they run in like Batman or the Avengers or something. Their pizza place has a gun at the top. It looks like a Shaolin temple. And the gun comes out and it shoots them out. And they go and they land on the crime scene and they deal with whatever. Anyway, amazing anime, Samurai Pizza Cats. But when I watched that as a child, I watched that alongside like Thundercats, He-Man, eventually Ninja Turtles, whatever else. Like all the animation that was not anime, like the Disney stuff, Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, stuff like that. But in the same time frame, I'm watching this. I just didn't know it was anime. Even there was a Wizard of Oz thing, which was actually created in Japan or by Japanese artists and whatever.
Wizard of Oz anime?
Yeah, look that up.
Whoa.
It's a little bit less, I would say, descriptive and detailed in the artwork as a lot of anime is nowadays. But there's a Wizard of Oz anime still that you could look into. And there's another one that's like, it's kind of like esoteric dealing with Egypt and Mesoamerica, like with the Aztecs.
Damn.
I forget what, but like for example, even Avatar. When Avatar came out, because at that point I already knew. Like they used to call this Japanimation. I don't know if anybody knows Japanimation, Japan animation, basically.
Yeah.
Then anime became the term. And now there's like, in theory, like some people put Avatar in anime, but Avatar is completely American.
Yeah, it's
They're
more,
just-
it's more like a cartoon.
Right, but they're inspired by like a lot
Of
of these
course,
Eastern
yeah.
or Asian.
And it looks like that.
Right, they made it based entirely on that. But like so long term, like growing up, Dragon Ball was the number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point that I'm gonna give a shout out to Apex Supreme from the Supreme Clan. That when I was like 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, he came to me like, yo, so what's the best anime? And even his mother, you know, Callie Angel Eyes, Callie Green, she was saying, like, yeah, it's Dragon Ball. OG, just like you, me, Dragon Ball. But then he put me onto Naruto, and I watched it, and I kind of wasn't feeling it. But, like, you know, a year went by, I didn't watch it. I had a son, you know, and my son, as eventually he got older, all of the boys were kind of into, like, this stuff, and my son got very into it. So I'm like, okay, let's watch it, because I'm going to watch it with you just in case, you know, whatever. And we watched the whole first season. I still didn't really like the main character, Naruto, at first. But then as the story developed and as the series went on, I'm like, oh, wow. And then, like, 2 years later, I reconnected with Apex Supreme, and he was like, yo, so you still think Dragon Ball is better than Naruto? And I'm like, actually, no, I don't. Naruto's way. So, like, to this point, there's a lot of good ones out there. Like, my favorites would be, like, Jujutsu Kaisen, probably maybe Bleach, My Hero Academia. Old school, I have to show love to Dragon Ball. There's a lot of new ones that are out there that are amazing, like, I guess... Solo Leveling, you know, if anybody's out there, or Attack on Titan, which is not so new, but there's a bunch of them.
Attack on Titan was amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, even Full Metal Alchemist, but like my favorite, ultimately, the storyline, everything, beginning to end, and the continuation, even with the stuff that I don't like, all the filler and the extra stuff, is Naruto. Naruto is probably like one of the only things
you can watch.
Like, there's so many. Like, I can watch the Rock Lee and Gaara fight again and again. I can watch the Pain and Naruto again and again. Yeah. There's so many like that. There's Kakashi and Obito, Madara and Gai Sensei. Woo! I don't know if you ever seen that.
I gotta admit, as an anime or whatever, as a story, Naruto is probably superior. Because when you listen to the thing, there's way more stakes and shit. It's way more dramatic and shit. I know what you mean, but for me, it's more like Goku is like Jesus.
In almost every anime, though, they do have
this.
You know, like, I'll use Matrix as a little quick analogy or metaphor. Like, Neo, the one, is the Jesus. He's the Christ. He's the Matrix. He's the one chosen. In Dragon Ball, it's Goku. Yeah. There's a bunch of people around him. In Naruto, it's Naruto.
But, I mean, what I mean by that is that if there's one character that I would want to emulate, be walking his path and shit, is Goku.
Goku, yeah.
But mainly because of the...
Because of his innocence and his purity.
Because of the cloud, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Like that's a good example. Like they kind of, like, for example, a lot of times they reference like Marvel characters. Who could lift up Thor's hammer? Who's worthy? Goku could lift up Thor's hammer.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's no way he could not.
Yeah,
but like
you know, it's the fact.
As I got older, some people kind of put me, but he's so naive. I'm like, you're kind of right, which kind of almost made me feel bad about Goku, but. And put some respect on Goku's name. A lot of people say he ain't the greatest father. Go watch that Cell fight with Gohan.
They say that because he messed up a couple times.
Well, no, because he left Chi-Chi alone a lot with the child. But the reality is, when he was with Gohan, when he took Gohan, like, look, when Gohan was fighting Cell, Piccolo was like, no, Gohan, you can't do it. You'll never do it. People be like, oh, Piccolo's really Gohan's father. No, Piccolo's there, like, in disbelief, like, no, Gohan, you can't do it. Goku's like, don't worry, he's got this. Gohan, you got it. And Gohan got it. So all I can say is that's good father right there. I'm a father, I know.
That's true, but it's also... it was too much of a big scale of power scale type shit that people be like, okay,
he's your favorite character. This isn't an argument, right?
That's kind of cruel. But that's kind of cruel because he let this child be like, you don't help me, what the fuck are you doing? So there's both.
Well, I mean, he just spent 2 days or 3 days in the hyperbolic time chamber, which equates to 2-3 years. Yeah. So the amount of time they spent together, he
probably knew.
There was a whole different level of relationship.
Yeah, he knew already.
That everybody else didn't know.
I don't think he's a bad father, but I feel like people can make this argument.
Right. That's what I'm just saying. Put some respect on his name. He's a better father than he gets credit for.
Yeah. But
he's not father of the year. He's not father of the year.
He sacrificed his life for like four fucking times.
Right.
I mean, that's fucking at the same time. It's like, well, Give him a break. But yeah,
you know what? Maybe this is a way to segue into the music because I grew up heavy into martial arts, and my favorite animes. Shout out to Demon Slayer. I didn't mention Demon Slayer earlier. That's one of me and my son's favorites.
Dope.
Like martial arts is a big part of the reason I like anime. There's a lot of anime that have nothing to do with martial arts, but again, like I was saying even earlier, Powerpuff Girls, Sailor Moon. Big shout out to Ronin Warriors.
I don't know that.
Look it up because it basically it's almost like the original. It's like the counterpart of Sailor Moon. Like Sailor Moon was 5 girls that had their moon tiara magic and all the different planets or whatever. This was 5 like men that became soldiers, and they had almost like superhuman samurai, Cyber Squad, or Power Rangers. Power Rangers had outfits, but theirs were like outfits that eventually connected like Voltron, but they were samurai, you know? So it was like mechanical samurai. It was pretty cool. Ronin Warriors.
That's dope.
But so these things like, but when they came on like the TV stations we had here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, I didn't know they were anime. I just thought they were new cartoons that were based in Japan. Like Ninja Turtles was based in New York.
It's just
some other stuff.
It's almost part of the culture of our culture.
Absolutely,
we've been raised with this.
Like just a completely off-topic, random shout out. Have you ever seen or watched Biker Mice from Mars?
Nope.
That's a whole nother thing. It's not anime, but it was it was cartoon mice from Mars that came to Earth, connected with a human. There, 3 of them, Vinny, Throttle, and what's the other one? Meccano or Metal or something. Anyway, they were really dope. It was a cool cartoon.
So original type of
ideas. But like to segue into the music. Growing up, when I was young, I did karate and judo with like a very good friend of mine, a brother of mine, Muhammad, Street Cypher Star. Shout out to you. We did that together, and that kind of built us up because people who never did any martial arts or anything, like there's a base in that kind of, for the rest of your life, if you ever get into a conflict physically, you kind of you're a little bit more comfortable with being like thrown around or punched, or you're a little more open to it. And then as I got older, I did a few other things like boxing, kembo, kung fu, aikido. That all to me, martial arts. I never really I'm a jack of all trades, but I'm a master of none. I never got to the highest levels of any of those things. Which eventually maybe I would like to pursue further. But martial arts has always been something I'm interested in.
But you look like you're 22 right now.
That's very kind of you because I'm double that age.
I know, but
I'm 42 this year.
It's true, no?
Well, he's nice. They say black don't crack. I got some of that in me somewhere.
But I feel like all of us.
My children keep me youthful as well. That's one thing. But like the segue to the music to me is martial arts. Like Wu-Tang is probably the best metaphor or analogy in hip hop, where they used from their sound to their samples to like even their words and what they were talking about.
Kung fu thing.
So much kung fu and Asiatic influence, and like because I was so heavily like growing up, Bruce Lee was probably like the closest thing to what I could call an idol. Even though I'm totally not for, and we could talk about it later, idolatry or idolizing a man. Like basically that was there's people in history you hear about from like the Christ or Messiah or like the Prophet Muhammad or Gandhi or whoever, Confucius, even like scientists, Isaac Newton, whatever, people that are like even athletes in our generation or before us, Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, like the pinnacle of humanity. You hear about some of these things. Bruce Lee is one of those people that when I was young and Muhammad Ali, physically these men, they were just incredible. I was like, okay, that's the type. Like every man should strive to, in some capacity, be as prepared to deal with conflict as those men are.
I'm trying to get in shape right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up. I go to the gym now 3 days a week.
Ooh, me too.
But it's not as good as at home doing what you got to do. Your breathing exercises.
It's also about
stretching.
the nutrition. It's mostly about nutrition.
3 main things: good rest, diet, and exercise.
Yeah.
I've been exercising, and my diet is pretty good. I've been eating for the last like 20 years. I eat organic 95% of the time.
Maybe that's why your skin is glowing.
And I don't eat meat other than occasionally fish, which is, some people will be like, okay, so you're not a vegetarian. So I don't claim none of that. I just openly tell you, I only normally eat fruits, vegetables, grains, and and then occasionally like I get a veggie burger or some pizza that have a little bit too much carbs in it.
I eat exclusively meat. I'm just kidding.
Carnivore. Well, I used to be an omnivore. Now I'm more of a herbivore, but because of the fish, some people won't give me that. And I'm still like, long term, I think I'm eventually not going to eat that and not going to have cheese or yogurt. But because of cheese or yogurt, there's a dairy element as well. People be like, oh, you're not vegan. But
it's
I know
hard,
some
bro.
very hardcore.
It's hard to be part of the
vegans.
gang, bro. It's fucking hard to be part of the gang.
Yeah.
Vegans won't accept me just because I eat bacon sometimes. Just kidding. But yeah, bro.
Maybe turkey bacon.
Okay, just to go back to everything
Alright,
you
let's
just
go,
said,
let's go.
because there's a bunch of shit. Okay, first
All right, let's go.
First, I did taekwondo when I
Oh,
was
that's
young.
Korean. It's Korean
Yeah.
karate. But
And I don't.
Yeah.
I want to go back on what you said about being able to handle yourself in the street in a conflict or whatever. I feel like for me it was more about having respect, learning how to have respect for whatever authority or people who you gotta respect. You know, the people who teach you their art or whatever.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I don't think that was necessarily my interpretation coming into any of the arts, so to speak, but naturally in the relationship you develop with your teachers, your senpais or senseis in karate and judo, or like even whether it be like kung fu, your sifu or whatnot, you're going to deal with people even in life when you go to jobs and you work in jobs, or when you're in school, your teachers, or at home, your parents, even eventually your if you have a life partner or mate, you know, you're going to enter these relations where you kind of have to you submit yourself and do what they say, and it creates a whole learning experience of like, you know, subservience, discipline, humility.
Yeah, but that's
in martial arts, it's like what you were saying, just to quickly go into it, like almost every martial art, the philosophy and the most oldest source root is fighting is the last resort. The art, the purpose is to build up your body, your mind, your spirit for health, and that you're prepared in the event of an emergency. But that's the last resort.
Yeah.
Even in most situations, if you can, you run,
Yeah.
you get away. It's only if you're cornered, you have nothing to do, you're prepared to deal with that, to still get away and run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like to your point, when you go through it, there is something about it that has a certain to do with respect.
Yeah.
To when you even the people you're training with, the people, it becomes like, okay, wow, we're doing this together.
Yeah.
I have to respect you, you have to respect
Bro,
me.
it's
all the way to the point that you will respect your enemy. You don't hit your enemy when he's down, for example.
It was super prevalent.
You know,
It was
though in the
super-
streets it ain't like that, and you got like you got to adapt. In
But-
general, that's some real principle, man.
But yeah, it was super present.
Stuff.
It was super present in the class. You have to once you get it, your feet on the mat, you have to pay respect to there was like a master in the fucking frame.
Right, taekwondo, judo, karate, you all have to remove your footwear when you get on the mat. Yeah.
But also, I felt like respect is about. It's not like a submission. It's more like people prove to you that you have something to learn from them, and then you don't have any pride into submitting to whatever teachings they have.
Right.
For you.
Yeah. Pride is not really a good thing. We could go into like words, but like let's use the word confidence. Right. Confidence is good.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
everyone should have
But
confidence.
everybody has the
Overconfidence
pride
is arrogance. Like it's synonymous with arrogance and pride, and like pride. Like to have overconfidence is not good.
Exactly.
Overconfidence often means you think you're capable of doing something, or that you are in a position that you're not. It puts you above or beyond where you are. Whereas humility, though it may put you behind where you are, it will naturally result in you coming to where you're supposed to be.
It's just
Whereas trying to go ahead of where you are will push you back further than you deserve to be.
It lets you,
in my opinion and experience.
Yep. Humility lets you have confidence. You know what I mean?
And from a scriptural perspective, which we could get into maybe a little later into my spirituality, like from a biblical perspective in the Proverbs, it says that humility before honor. And in that sense, like, when someone's prideful or like what are you really striving for? Probably honor. You probably want to be acknowledged or respected, kind of like we were talking about with martial arts, how you want to be honored to how you want to be viewed. One of the things I realized, like, I think everybody in their life at one time or another has told a small lie and probably a big lie too.
Yep.
Like, and lying is ultimately, it's false witness, it's dishonesty, it's deceptive, but why do people lie? Sometimes people say, oh, it's to not hurt other people, I don't want them to know the truth. The truth would make them angry.
Yeah, truth hurts.
Which is possible, but at the same time, the main reason I think people lie is so that for whether it will hurt them or not, because the truth hurts, but the truth shall also set you free.
Yep.
So that's another thing as far as the truth is concerned.
How much do you love them?
Right.
Enough to tell them the truth.
The truth, right? Like, and I think everybody long term would want to know the truth more than anything. Like, if you're with a partner, you would rather know that they don't want to be with you than find out they're with somebody else. Or if you're in a business relationship, you would want to know things are working out before they're publicly announcing we're no longer supporting this person, or like ultimately you just want to have a good relation and a good communication, without conflict, I guess. Same thing as anything else we were saying.
To come back to the mangas and our anime.
Let's do it.
At the beginning of One Piece, I mean, I didn't go into One Piece because of the length of the whole thing.
Honestly, I feel you. I'm into it, and my son is halfway through, which is like 500 episodes.
It's fucking long, bro.
I've read a few of the manga, and I've only watched 2 seasons. The arcs are very lengthy and crazy. I've seen a lot of clips ahead of time, which kind of,
it makes you feel like you gotta go through
yeah.
this.
It's one of the few that I want to do because of how popular it is and how influential it is, and to really know.
It's probably super good.
And even for hip hop and everything,
Also,
you listen to ciphers, battle rap, songs, people reference things to really know the reference without having to go look it up while you're listening to it.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm like, okay, but that is an investment.
Yep.
If y'all want to get into One Piece,
apparently they're gonna
months and maybe years if you
But apparently
really.
Netflix is redoing a new series where they're reducing the time of
No, that's possible. Well,
like 32 episodes.
Like they did that with Naruto. Like I said earlier, my favorite anime probably of all time.
Was it done great?
I forget what it's called, but basically they removed most of the filler.
Yeah.
And it was like, so the episodes, it would skip
better?
over. It's better because you like.
I hate fillers.
All of the stuff it cuts out, or the vast majority of it. Well, actually, because it's filler,
not in the mangas.
none of it's canon. None of it's needed to really get the story.
Yeah.
So it's a easier process. Instead of 700 episodes with Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, you have maybe like 400 or 500.
Yeah.
With no, which is like, you get all the good stuff, and some of that's still debatably good depending on what you like or you don't. But it's like there's none of the bullshit. But some of the bullshit is amazing.
Yeah.
When because of the writers.
Of course,
and the
they're gonna get it sometimes. But
Yeah.
what I hate is like I said, I see Goku as Jesus. For me, when I read the mangas,
all
it's
right,
like
so we're gonna go with that. Goku is Jesus.
So
That's the metaphor.
For me, when I read the mangas, it's like the Bible. And when they add fillers and shit, I feel like they're lying to me. In this,
you hear what he just said? As far as I'm concerned, the greatest story ever told is Genesis through Revelations. You know what I'm saying? And the prophecies within that. However, outside of that,
I never read it because I'm too lazy. But
I'm sure you've heard quite a bit of it, and everything you've ever watched almost derives their influence or their inspiration from it. So like when you go back to like, let's say Naruto, Naruto is the only story that like in it, though they have characteristics of elements of, let's say, like gods, prophets, disciples, apostles, kings, and government, they don't really have like God, Christ, prophets, etc. It's different. But so being so different, even though if you look into like Asiatic culture, there's like I think Shinto and other religion and philosophy that they derive. For example, like one of their characters, Sasuke, or the Uchiha clan, they use a lot of moves like Amaterasu, which is like an eternal burning flame. In Japanese, I think that's associated with the sun god. Amaterasu is the sun god. And the same thing applies to various other moves or jutsus, as they would call them. It is, because ultimately he's like Kishimoto, the creator of it, who was very heavily inspired by Dragon Ball as well. He gives that praise. Like Naruto wouldn't exist without Dragon Ball, so you kind of have to put Dragon Ball before it. Even like me, I always put it before it. But after watching all of Naruto, I was like, yo, I actually like this better.
Yeah, it's more.
The story's better. In my opinion, it's the best story I've ever read.
Yeah,
and watched other than the Bible. Well, you know what? It's so different. The reason I'm personally more into Naruto is because Attack on Titan is less geared around the martial arts, it's more technological and more.
It's more about punchlines and shit.
And it has a lot of, I guess you could say, socio-political, economic elements that are very prevalent in today's society when you think about the potential future.
It does.
With AI and computers.
I'm just too dumb for those type of shit. I don't know much about the economic situation of the world and shit. So, but I feel like I learned so much about the world, how the world works. Through watching entertainment.
Because you know what? A jewel that a lot of people say is they hide a lot of stuff in entertainment.
They do. Okay, my bad. Okay.
Now let's go. Where are we going?
We're going too far. Okay, but wait.
We're going too far.
I got to go back to One Piece.
One Piece. All right, yeah. What was your point there?
So my point was that I love that in the beginning they teach you that you don't have to fight every battle. You have to choose your fights.
That's one of the... as a grown man, that's one of the lessons I'm learning the most right now. And I have to, hats off, salute to that. Because choosing your battles, picking your battles is one of the things my whole life I have been like... Most people that know me will probably confirm I'm highly confrontational.
For real.
Not in like a necessarily negative way. The more intimate I am with people, my friends and family, it becomes negative because after a long period of time, it's always like, yo, you're always so like intense. But it's because I'm so confrontational. Like anything that comes up, I want to engage it.
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing, 9 out of 10, is like, yo, you got to pick your battles. Like unless, like what's the outcome desired? What's the worth of it? What are you really trying to do with your life?
Yeah.
9 out of 10, you're the person I'm having a debate or exchange with that might be conflictual. I don't really have a conflict with them, even if we don't agree on a subject.
Exactly.
So it's like, but the way I'm acting or the way I'm so animated or the way my voice raises or my body, my bodily like gesticulations, my gestures and stuff. Some people be like, oh, yeah, like you're aggressive.
I can't feel like I'm like that too, I guess.
Word up.
I'm not shy of addressing whatever has to be addressed.
Right.
But you're right.
But picking your battles.
Yeah,
it's a good lesson.
If it starts a fight, then I don't want to do this.
Right.
But I feel like I have another threshold of.
Oh, that's a lesson. You brought me back. Yo, shout out to Sun Youth Jeunesse Soleil, Sun Youth Camp. I used to go to Sun Youth Camp when I was a child, and I used to go to Sun Youth Sleepaway Camp. And I met a good friend of mine to this day, Joshua. If you out there, I'm gonna tag you after all of this. But like there's a lot of people in my life that I've gotten into fights with, normally like unpredictable settings.
Yeah.
With him, we were having a circumstance at camp in a cabin where I was like,
Bro.
He disrespected me, and I just went back and I just punched him in the face.
Damn.
And everybody was like, oh! And I embraced that moment for like 3 seconds, or maybe under 5 seconds. Like 5, 4, 3, 2. I was like, yeah. And 2, 1, boom. He punched me right back. And I was like, oh, you get what you give. Life is like this. Don't just expect to punch someone and never get nothing back. He gonna punch you back. Now, to this day, me and him are good friends, and we became... At a young period of our time, we became best friends for a few years. So, like, as a result of us fighting, we got closer.
Did you ever fight again?
Not aggressively or intentionally as such. We wrestled a little bit here and there. We kind of sparred a little bit, but we became friends. So we would never really want to hurt each other.
That's fine.
In that moment, we wanted to hurt each other.
You're a real motherfucker.
But it was also like a not...
You stand on business.
It became it was a wake up call to me in life, because it was just like, oh, you know, you get like in any situation.
But no joke,
don't expect
bro,
to do something
like
without some kind of consequence, repercussion, or ramification coming back at you.
But exactly. So that for me, I never fought anybody in my life. I never had altercations because I never felt like it was. I'm always like, first of all, I never really had a moment where I had to fight. It was always like, oh, this person seems fucking dangerous. And he doesn't have a reason to be, so let's get the fuck out. I mean,
better safe than sorry in virtually any situation, I would say. But, like, you know, I don't fight a lot. That's not my thing, you know?
No.
But, like...
But you stand on business.
Yeah, like, if it comes, it comes, and you got to be prepared. You got to stay ready.
So now, to go back to the end of the conversation before I got...
One Piece or manga music?
Yeah, the last part we left, I want to end on this because I feel like we were there and it's a nice thing to think.
All right.
You were saying that truth is hidden into fiction, you said.
Absolutely. I would say the path of truth is under lies.
Exactly. But I feel like whatever truth... You're reading or whatever you're learning about the news or whatever, it's always dismissive. They always lie about something or tell half a truth. So I don't really consider this as something I can rely on. You know what I mean? But when I read a manga or a story or whatever, a movie, and a real lesson, a real moral has been learned, I don't care about the facts. I don't care about none of this. Morals are clear, and you know, I don't have to go back. I learned something now, and something grew in me. So that's how I learn now. And also, I don't care about facts. I just care about morals. You know what I mean?
That's interesting because, you know, like the way you say that, like all encompassing, I would have to agree with you. When you isolate individual circumstances, I would say that the facts do matter. But when you get into some of these like bigger things, it's like there's a lot of facts, and you could use, like, most people use facts to kind of support their perspective, their opinion, whatever it might be.
What I meant, if I can make it more clearly, it's more like you know, I don't care about learning about the numbers. I learned the rules of the calculations.
Yeah, totally. I get that, and I guess in the same way, I was reaching to say, like, you know, it's all about, like, in court. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a lot of experience in court that we could talk about later, too.
It all comes from the confrontations.
There's, like, in court, in order to like in court, it really doesn't matter what happened, especially in like criminal court. It's really about what you can prove.
Yeah.
On both sides, So either way, that's normally what will determine the outcome and the result of a case. And they use evidence, right? They use multiple facts. They use evidence and facts to substantiate a truth. And then, like, I think we both know there's many people that are probably guilty that got away. And there's even more people probably that are innocent that are inside.
I don't know about that. I hope not.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe the numbers are different, but there's innocent people inside.
Of course, but I hope it's not.
And there's guilty people outside, right?
There's a lot.
So that's just whatever the numbers are. We can agree that there's innocent people that are inside and guilty people outside.
It's a game.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like in theory, if the guilty are inside and the innocent are out, we're good. There's no issues. Yeah. Even though then the issue becomes, well, how are the guilty being treated? What is it? Is it a correctional facility? Are they actually? But to my point of evidence and substantiating truth in court. Like, again, you can substantiate some shit in court using a whole bunch of facts to substantiate a truth that isn't even true and win the case. So the principle and the moral of the story, I totally agree with you. It's more important than any of those facts that you could use to convince someone of one thing or another at one time that ultimately, eternally, is not the truth. The universal, eternal truth. For me, it's
the relation with God, that type shit.
That's what it really becomes. It becomes your relation with the almighty source, the creator, God, as you said.
For me, it's all about being right in the situation. Even though I don't do the right thing, my intention were good. So God will guide me. I'm not a big believer, but I'm starting to just feel like it's kind of dumb not to believe in God. Because when they explain what God is, it's like you don't believe in everything and anything. Dumbass.
Yeah, like anybody, like if you're gonna go into any realm of like, let's say theology, which is the study of God, or if you go into science and you're gonna go into like theories like evolution, Big Bang, gravity, etc. Like any of these you want to bring back as far as you can. Okay, so the Big Bang, according to science and definition, is an infinite energy density that exploded it from a single, like, again, infinite energy density, a single cell organism, a single particle.
The Big Bang is like a way to explain God.
That exploded into a cosmic explosion that created all of existence. Okay.
That sounds like a scientific way to
explain God. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, well, what caused that? What's the source of that? Like in the Bible, when it says in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, beginning is time, heavens is space, and earth is matter. You got time, space, and matter. It's like there's this universal concept of this Trinity occurring, and all of that to say, like, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So if there's something, there has to be something. There's like people who don't believe in, let's say, creationism or a source, a creator.
People don't like the idea of a big man in the sky. But because they don't catch the real description in the Bible, or anybody who believes in God, the description is not an entity. It could be, but it's more like everything and everything at all time, all present is all.
Right, if you're talking about an omnipresent, all-powerful...
It's just like you don't believe in...
all-knowing being. You're talking about... Like, some people... Like, you've probably heard of the Akashic Records. Yeah. Hypothetically or theoretically, the Akashic Records is all of time and space itself is... As it's occurring, as time and space occurs, it is documenting itself. So there's nothing that's ever happened ever that cannot be accessed in the Akashic Records. And forget like 1D, 2D, 3 dimension. That too, if you get really deep into it. But this is more of a intergalactic or universal or multiversal or omniversal, like total existence, where everything that exists anywhere and everywhere always comes from the source. So everybody and everything can go all the way back to the source, mentally or spiritually, not necessarily physically, because physically you are where you are in time. But you can connect with the source, and through that source you can connect with anything else ever in time and existence. So directly that you can know things that in theory you have no reason, no tangible physical reason that you should have access to. Yeah. But it's all through the mind and the spirit.
It's like a big ocean of knowledge.
Absolutely. We exist in it. We swim in it. We live in it every day.
But that's what death is too, I feel.
I don't disagree, but death, I think, is just another part of life. It's not like... Like, you see how people talk about afterlife?
Yeah.
Afterlife is death.
Before death.
But what's after death?
Yeah.
Is there?
But I feel like, okay, to me, it's like, I don't know. There's probably like a bunch of steps or shit or other worlds or whatever. But I read in a book from Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman, okay.
The Ocean at the End of the Lane is called. Well, at the end of this book, there's like a representation of what death is. And it's actually, you go back to where you were before you were born. And it's actually a big ocean of knowledge. And you just have access to everything and everything.
You know, we're entering into different, like, I guess, realms of thought and culture and idealism, but a lot of faiths and spiritual, I guess some would say religions or whatnot, cultures in the world have this idea that, you know, you picked your life before you were born.
Yeah.
You chose your parents, you chose your circumstance, to the point that in the same context that destiny is everything is already written, even though you still have free will, so to speak, within the real-time play of your life to actually make choices and do things, those things are predated, and you make the choice beforehand, before being born physically, into which life you'll go. There's others that suggest that based on the past life you live will determine where you go. Maybe a human, maybe another life form, another type of, you know, entity, maybe in a different area.
I like to think it's a test here.
Most recently, there's been some Russian scientists that were able to confirm through some sort of like quantum mechanic or quantum physics testing that they used with people's brain patterns and their consciousness. When they died, they were able to, through the neurotransmitters connection with their machines, they were able to find their consciousness after they physically died here on Earth. And where they found them is like hundreds of billions of light years away. In a like almost the furthest region of the universe that we're aware of, in this supposedly ever expanding universe where it's getting further. That's where it ended up, supposedly, after they died.
That's crazy.
Because they still had receptors connected to those transmitters.
Damn.
So it's like, you know, if that's true, it would suggest that like our spiritual energy leaves the physical body and does go somewhere else in this still existing universe. So, you know, it's almost like the first law of thermodynamics, like nothing ever ceases to exist. It's just transferred from one party to another.
This, for me,
as far as energy is concerned.
This, for me, seems like a rule for everything.
And you see, it's almost like a scientist's definition of energy is the same as a theologist's definition of God.
Yep.
You're talking about
It's
a never-ending, you know, no beginning, no ending, just all existing. Like in ancient, like, you know, biblical scriptures, in the original writings in the Hebrew Torah and so on, it references God as the self-existing, eternal one. Self-existing, meaning brought themselves into existence. Same way that scientists talk about the Big Bang, talking about a conscious, divine energy
like
that pulled itself out of existence
like
and self-formed, like
Kirikou.
Like Kirikou.
You saw that?
I did actually. The child that came out the mother's baby.
You remember that? Mom.
Oh yeah. Kind of like that in the but that's more in the that's in the latter sense in the incarnation when we talk about things like Christ and Messiah and Avatar.
Self-creating, that's kind of something I can't really understand, you know.
Well, it's also kind of like in your own life. Like if you were to turn around your entire life and change and just go somewhere, you're self-creating that. Like a lot of people especially in old times, we used to have family. The family structure meant more. So people, like they say, it takes a village and a community to raise a child, not just the mother and father. You had the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, in some cases the great-grandparents. All of that influence, all of the people around you that are building you up and what you're learning from, it's going to be a lot different than if you're born in a broken home with no mother or no father in a single-parent home where like you don't have a mother and a grandmother and a great-grandmother or a father, a grandfather, great-grandfather who has been working their whole life, who has a business, who has a trade, who has something to pass on to you, that from a young age, even if you go to school, you're already learning that trade at home because that's the family business. When you get out of school, you either start a new branch or continue on the same branch your parents did. So most of us are born in a time now where that's not the case.
No. When you don't
at least here in America and Canada.
When you don't have the family structure, you end up like Bonnie Blue. You know Bonnie Blue?
School me. Bonnie Blue, it sounds familiar, but I don't think I know
It's a goddamn new OnlyFans porn actress who recently like slept with 1,000 men in 24 hours.
Oh,
Some shit like
that's
that.
sad stuff, man.
That's some silly shit. So yeah, take care of your daughter before they become blue.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's every father's worst nightmare, I think.
Jesus Christ.
What could I say? I have a daughter. I'm scared, you know?
Yeah, no, that's scary.
You got to raise them right.
Yeah. But also, you got to scare them well. As soon as possible. Scare the fuck out of them. Yeah. As soon as she's 2, I'm going to put Taken on the move, the Taken movie on her TV before she sleeps.
Liam Neeson.
Look at this. That's what happens if you fuck around. I'm just kidding, but yeah. My brother used to play an NHL, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And with his friend, they used to bet that if they lose, the other's daughter is going to end up as a prostitute or some shit like that.
You know, words are very powerful. Sometimes you can speak things into existence. Yeah. You might want to be careful what you say. Be careful what you wish for. All of that.
That's actually one of the worst fear of men. So
straight up. And you know what? We also live in a time where it's like, look, I remember growing up in the 80s, 90s. All right, y'all.
You're a real 90s kid, right?
There was, I was born in the 80s, but I was a real 90s kid, and that's it, you know. 80s baby,
people
90s kid.
Keep saying 90s kids, but they didn't live through the 90s.
No, they were born in 98, 99, and they grew up in the 2000s.
Because I'm not a 90s kid, I'm a 2000 kid. I was born in the 92.
92.
So I didn't live through the fucking 90s.
I feel you. Yeah, I definitely lived through the 90s.
I just breezed back.
I'm that generation that they talk about right now. That I was born before the internet. TV and radio still wasn't even. We didn't even really have cable until later on. Like there wasn't even satellite yet.
But you weren't you're not that old. It's just crazy.
I'm not that old either, but like in less than 50 years, I've experienced 2 centuries, 2 millenniums, a potential world war, you know, all types of like, anyway, it goes on and on. But the main thing to my point was that, you know, you hear all these stories which are very true, like don't come home until the lights go on, the street lights go on at like sundown, you know, depending on the neighborhood. And
it was so lit. Life
children used to just go out. We'd be in the park all day, like not coming in, going, like there was so much. Honestly, like, I grew up in Côte-des-Neiges, uptown Montreal. Mm-hmm. Shout out. It's the most multicultural neighborhood. I'm going to say it in the world. It's actually the second in the world.
For real? What's Toronto?
I'm going to have to look it up to give you the exact country. Maybe we should look it up before this is done. But it's not Toronto. It's another place. It's somewhere in, like, Eastern Asia where, like, there's like a city where the richest families from every nation in the world have, like, a stay house there. And as a result, it has like maybe 160 or 170 nationalities that reside in that one location.
All of the most famous, more.
Well, they're
rich.
The royal or rich or maybe celebrities or politics. You know,
where is this?
Let's look it up while we're doing this if we can. But I'll tell you that in North America, Côte-des-Neiges has when I grew up, there was 144. A lot of my colleagues tell me that right now there's 155 or 154 nationalities that exist in like 4 square miles.
Jesus.
So that's the neighborhood I grew up in. And there's a lot of, I guess, multiculturalism, ethnic diversity. You know, it's where most immigrants that come to Montreal come. It is Toronto? But what does it say? What does Toronto say?
While there isn't a single universally agreed upon answer, Toronto, Canada is widely regarded as the most multicultural city in the world. It boasts a large number of foreign-born residents and a wider range.
Does it have a number?
Cities.
Because I looked this shit up before, man. Pardon my language, but I did look this up, and it was not Toronto. Respect to Toronto. And you know what? A lot of Montrealers since the 80s and 90s went to Toronto because of the language laws here in Montreal. A lot of them didn't really want to learn French. A lot of the Caribbean people, a lot of even like the Mesoamericans, all of the, like even the Asians or Europeans, unless they were from France, they would come here and eventually they went to Toronto or other places in Canada or the States because it was like, yo, we speak English and our native tongue or whatever it might be. So a lot of them left. Like there was a much bigger population of predominantly Caribbeans in Montreal in the 80s and 90s that are now in Toronto, where Toronto now has a much bigger, and they have a lot of Indian, Asian, like immigrants and population.
But it makes sense.
But did it say a number?
No.
Because if not, I'm gonna look it up before this is done tonight. I'm gonna get back at you with the exact.
They say it is hard to determine.
It is hard to determine, but I can tell you for facts, 145 to 144 to 154, 55.
But I mean, Toronto is right next to us.
In one neighborhood. In one little neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like Toronto is a city. I'm talking about Côte-des-Neiges, one neighborhood in Montreal. Yeah. It's half a borough. It used to be Côte-des-Neiges, and then there was Notre-Dame-de-Grâce. Now they are one. They are Notre-Dame-des-Neiges. It's one of the 19 boroughs, les 19 arrondissements in Montreal. But like, okay, you know what? Knowledge time for Montreal. Can I drop some knowledge on y'all from Montreal? All right.
It's knowledge time.
Y'all don't know about this, but there's at least like 3 to 5 or 6 different Montreals here and now. Geographically, if you look at it from a bird's eye view on a map, there's the island of Montreal, there's the city of Montreal, there's the municipality of Montreal. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff. There's the district of Montreal. And these are all different. If you were to lay them over each other and look at them geographically, they are different. For example, the island of Montreal includes things like Westmount, Côte Saint-Luc, Hampstead. But these are not part of Montreal. Westmount is its own city, has its own
For real?
police department, has its own hydro, has its own fire department. Yeah.
Shit.
Trust me. So though it's on the island of Montreal, it's not part of either the municipality, the city, or the district of Montreal.
Yeah.
You
Makes
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of, like when they talk about the greater Montreal island, they're including like the South Shore, the North Shore, Laval, or what have you, the West Island and the Eastern Townships. All of that's included. So when you talk about the population of Montreal, some people get it twisted. Like they're not sure. Oh, they say it's 3.7 to 4 million. Mm-hmm. But on any given day, when you include everything in the greater Montreal, you have about 5 million, not to mention all the people coming in and out for business and trade every day. Not to mention all the people that are not documented, that are off record, that are here. So it's like we have about 5 million here for real. And my point to the geography, do your homework if you don't know. Like, because the district and the municipality, that's where jurisdiction applies. Like, where do the police where can they do what they can do or what they can't do? Because again, like I said, Westmount has their own police department. So the Montreal Police Department jurisdiction ends on certain lines geographically that are all on the island of Montreal. You just got to know, you got to do.
That's crazy.
Most people don't know. I'm still learning it, and I invite you all to research it and learn and know more.
But don't you agree that your borough, your neighborhood, like Côte des Neiges for you, is different from other neighborhoods?
Absolutely. Like growing up when I was younger, they were more similar, but in the last 20 years, they've changed a lot. They've changed a lot.
There's different slangs and shit.
Oh yeah, totally. Montreal is actually, I would think we're almost the future of slangs. We got like this unique English, French, you could call it franglais, but then it includes Creole and Arabic and Hebrew and patois and maybe even a little bit of Italian and Spanish here and there. And it's like, you'll get so many
it's kind of
slangs and styles.
It's kind of hard to navigate these nowadays with the cancel culture and all that shit. Because I be using a lot of Asian words and a bunch of shit like that, or Arabs words, and I be feeling like I'm not supposed to or some shit. You know what I mean? But
well, with respect, as long as people show respect, like it's all about life and culture. Some people will say, "Oh, it's cultural appropriation."
Yeah.
But then others will say, like, imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Exactly.
Though that's not the end of that quote. That ends by saying that.
I'll kill you.
No, it ends by going for not verbatim, but what is it? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Then it goes further to say, like, when almost, maybe not verbatim here, but when the inferior mind is unable to like produce an original thought, then that's the greatest thing that they can do. They can imitate, and it's not like, to be disrespectful.
It's like an insult, a little bit. Quote.
It's a bit of an insult to the person that's unable to create something original.
Which makes sense, bro. I hate imitating, and I feel like this is one of the things that is restricting
Well, it's not as much of an insult as much as it's an accountable expression. It's like, it's just holding someone accountable for what they do or don't do.
Yeah. It sounds like it's nice at first, but when you know the whole quote, shut the fuck up. But yeah. Okay, so you know what? You want to roll a little grabba? We're going to smoke some weed.
Grab a leaf for that. Grab a leaf and roll something. Let's do it.
I got this for you.
All right. You know what? Let me go up in my...
Take it smooth and sneak it smoothness. Okay, so I'm gonna show to everybody what I showed you before we start the stream.
That's what's up.
First of all, I gotta be honest, okay? It's just like 3 loops that I took from Splice. Splice is a free loop thing that you can.
Okay.
But this is what I do when I don't have much time, and also I feel like people take instrumental from YouTube. You know what I mean?
A lot of people do.
So
like one of the biggest, drill or trap songs to come out was CJ from. whoopty, vamos a hacer a movie, all of that.
A lot of people do that. And
That
make
was
hits with it.
he that was like a producer from Europe that he took his beat on YouTube and he did the song. Then he hit him up. He's like, "Oh, I like it." He agreed to it. They did it together. 400 million plus views right now.
I'm just saying the instrumental usually people don't they buy it or they find it from somewhere. So I don't feel that bad to recreate one with samples that I find on because now I can use it. It's totally like fucking how do you say it? Royalty free.
Royalty free, all right.
So it's mine. And it sounds professional because it's professional sounds. And it took me 3 seconds. I just had to, so you know what I mean?
3 seconds.
But I mean, close like...
Incroyable, because it's hot fire. When he played it for me, I had to hold myself back not to rap.
So yeah, because I don't want to... Again, with humility, I feel like making music is all about sampling. When I create music with my own voice, when I make the instruments with my own hands, at the end of the day, it's just choosing which part I'm gonna use as a song.
Like as original of a composition it could be,
It's always
you're still sampling. Yes, absolutely. We are making use of the sounds that have existed long before
I'm
we
not
did.
inventing nothing.
We're just recomposing or resequencing it.
I'm just making magic with the sounds that is into the ether, you know what I mean?
Totally, I'm with you and agreeing.
So, with this logic, I don't feel that bad using samples. People be feeling bad or some shit.
Yeah. I mean, look, nowadays with the future of music, when they're talking about all of this AI and
bro.
stuff and what you can do, what you can't do.
I don't use AI, so...
I mean, well, I haven't used it yet, but I'm not opposed to using it. Like, for example... long term, like we're gonna find out the effects of these things, but like I don't want to necessarily go. I was just thinking about someone else that did use it, but what I have heard is I've heard a lot of songs from like let's say dead artists like Biggie or Tupac, where they make them with AI, they make them perform like let's say a more modern song by 50 Cent,
which is weird. No, this is weird.
It is weird, but sometimes it be sounding really good.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the consumers of music, not necessarily the makers of music or the connoisseurs and those who really appreciate the art.
I mean, when you're
but like the consumers who really just like things that sound good and don't really care how it was put together, just it sounds good, they want to hear it. A lot of people will eat that up.
When you're a real connoisseur, in my opinion, you don't care where it comes from.
You know what? That's such a fine line you're drawing because you're right on both sides of the fence there. Because in one sense, like, that's what I was just saying when I'm saying everything is sampled. Like you were saying, like, there's nothing, we're not, like, even, unless you, occasionally, there are occasions where there are artists that do something unique that has never been done before. But it is still simply an arrangement, or rather a rearrangement of elements that we're aware of. It's just been placed in an arrangement we haven't seen before.
Yeah, but also...
everything's like whether it be a sound,
it all been,
a style, like James Brown
played.
with a
everything has been played
Michael
already.
Jackson with a James Brown with a ha, you know, whatever it is.
This is the sauce. This is the little sauce they add to the shit that everybody.
And sometimes making up a word or making up a dance.
Yeah.
Some of these youths might do it, like making up, because otherwise you're using all the words that existed before. You're using all the sounds. You're just every instrument has existed before. You're just you're putting it in an arrangement. That is maybe original now, but nothing's original, and not like no ID is original. There's nothing new under the sun.
When you've been making
there's nothing new. It's just how it's done.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nazir Jones.
Okay. When you've been making music for a long time, and you know when you know how making a hit is really happening,
you kind of feel it, even though like
you just realize that it doesn't. You can't really create it.
It creates itself almost.
Something happens, okay? So even if it's an AI that does it, if it happened...
It was meant to be.
I'm not mad. I like the fact that it exists now.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't just put sounds together and expect it to sound good. If it sounds good, then we are all glad that it exists. That's how it is. What?
I was going to turn it while I roll. Or turn it off.
No. It's just because it's so hot today, bro. Fucking shit. 48 degrees or some shit.
Totally understand.
Oh, they are so dumb. The weatherman, I'm just kidding. Respect to the Most High. They're so dumb up there making the temperature. What the fuck is going on, man?
Well, you know, there's weather manipulating technology that is out there too. You could look it up. HAARP, HAARP. This has existed for over 30 years, and they could do everything from tornadoes, hurricanes, tidal waves, big waves in the water.
In that, but I feel like they're not going to use it just to fuck with us on a fucking Tuesday, motherfuckers.
You're right. But the thing is, just using it all the times they've used it and not knowing the consequences and the long-term effects of it. Like, they talk about global warming because of cows and people eating meat and other things, and what do they say? Greenhouse emissions and whatever. It's like, wait a minute.
No.
Y'all are dropping bombs all over the world on test sites. Y'all are doing all types of stuff.
My fucking Maxi or Pro Vigo, the fucking lights are on the whole night, motherfuckers.
Facts.
I know these motherfuckers are bullshit. But I mean, I do believe in all these conspiracy theories. I feel like
most of them, to me, they're not even conspiracies.
Exactly.
Like, when they're conspiracies, I'm still exploring, investigating, and researching them. But the vast majority of what people have called conspiracy theory, and I'm true. Like a septuple OG in Montreal as a conspiracy theorist lyricist. So any of you that know me know I have over 500 documentary DVDs on it, not to mention books for days, like on everything from 9/11 being an inside job to the reptilian agenda, etc. But like, if we're gonna bring it to like the conspiracy, 9 out of 10 of those have been proven now, 20 years later, since I got all those documentaries and those books and documents or whatever.
Bro.
And it's like, if people are dead and you have body counts, that's not a conspiracy.
No, if you have the things, now it's done. But for me, the thing that made me go switch for like, okay, no, most of these are probably true now, is when I heard about the fact that it's true that they turned frogs gay, bro.
Yeah, like, but you see, when you say turn, that's some crazy shit too. Because Fat Joe told us about the gay mafia in hip hop. But then when you go into science, there's the gay frogs. How did they make them gay? Well, they were inserting hormones and drugs and chemicals into the waters, and the results, like, this is the same thing they're doing to humans. And in the last, like,
Jesus Christ,
20 years...
That's why I'm so gay.
There's been an exponential growth of, like, I guess what they would, like, politically correct refer to as the LGBTQ community.
Faggots.
There's been, but beyond that, even, like, all of the, like, whether it be trans, etc.
The hormonal descent.
There's a lot more, like...
There's a testosterone
if you were to look at all of human history and compare it to the last 100 years, in the last 100 years, we have like a 60% growth of that we didn't have in 99% of our human history before that. And it's because they're getting you with everything, what they put in the food. Like, you are what you eat.
You want to know a new conspiracy?
Can we go to Doritos now? Because you are what you eat.
Okay, but wait. I just learned about this new conspiracy theory. Actually, there's a new facts that they just learned scientifically.
I can't wait.
The microplastic in the water. Not the microplastic, sorry. The contraception. The women takes contraception pills, right?
Right.
They pee it off. They pee it in the fucking peas. Then when they filter the water, they don't consider this as...
When you say filter the water, you mean when they go to the bathroom and then it goes down into the piping systems?
And then in the piping system,
and then
they filter that. But the water still has all of these fucking contraception pills in them. And men takes it, men ingest it and women ingest it. But when women ingest it, it causes fertility for them, which is on the high...
infertility, right? Infertility.
Which is really high right now. There's a lot of infertility. And
that is correct.
And for men, it causes... estrogen, lack of
testosterone, right? Okay, so not to get all into like the pandemic and COVID, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot to suggest that those vaccines do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you take it?
Good question. You know what? I don't ask you personal questions. No, I'm joking. Look,
but
I am unvaccinated. I could honestly say that. I've taken vaccines in my life, like when I was young. Certain things, I guess hepatitis A, B, and C when I was like forced to, or.
Yeah.
What was that one that everybody had to take?
I think it was hepatitis.
There was another one though. That was one, but
the papillon humain. I don't know.
But all of that to say, like you taking it, like, no offense to you, right? But like, I have information to support that wasn't necessarily the best choice.
It was the worst choice, but I didn't want to take it.
I don't know if there's any side effects or you're facing that. But
I'm just scared I could die for this.
There are ways to remove it, but it's a lengthy process because what they actually did. This is the first time that there's a universal or international publicly released vaccine that the mRNA, the RNA, for those of you that don't know, that's ribonucleic acid. And if you look into the DNA, that's deoxyribonucleic acid.
Is this in there?
No, it's not in there, but this is Doritos, and the only reason I turned these down is not, when I was a child, like I was telling you, I used to eat Doritos all the time. But if you look at all these ingredients, right, there's like at least 7 to 10 ingredients here I don't eat, whether it be the sugar, the dextrose, the MSG, monosodium glutamate, corn syrup, maltodextrin. But I'm going to go on to say this. This is a 235-gram bag of Doritos. It says that there is 50. So every rating it gives you is for 50 grams, which is roughly 1/5 of it. So there is enough monosodium glutamate in this bag to chemically imbalance a horse.
Jesus Christ.
Never mind an adult human. And you could chemically imbalance 3 adult humans. There are children that eat this whole bag in one day by themselves, or like 3 of them with like their friends or whatever.
Guilty.
Now, the worst thing in here, in my opinion, though sugar to me is the silent killer. Like the number 1 cause of death in the world, they say, is heart disease.
Sugar.
The number 1 cause of heart disease is sugar. So, hey, to me,
For me
1 + 1
so
equals
clear,
2.
bro.
Sugar is the number 1 cause of death.
A good friend of mine called Sean, rest in peace, he's dead of cancer. And once he had cancer, they told him you can't eat 1 piece of sugar, no sugar. And I was like, 1 + 1 equals 2, bro.
Right. I mean, but it's not, if he had natural sweets, like let's say date sweetener, or coconut sweetener,
but I mean,
maple, honey,
all of this,
things like that.
all of the artificial. I was like, but it was like it feeds on it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It does, yeah. It's the last thing I'm gonna say. There's a lot of stuff in here again that I don't suggest people eating. Like, for example, it has yellow FCF, which is not clear, but I'm pretty sure that's yellow number 5. The F is for 5 in one of them. Yellow number 5 has pork in it. I don't eat pork, so that's one of those things for sure. And then like the last ingredient here, it says calcium hydroxide. I want y'all to look that up if you don't know. Calcium hydroxide is a neurotoxin.
Jesus.
It's what they put in rat poison and many other things. So like, I was telling him, like, eat it if you want to. Like, you're not gonna die. This amount won't kill you. It will chemically imbalance you, but it won't kill you in one day. But it has neurotoxin, and it has monosodium glutamate, enough to chemically imbalance an adult beyond belief. Like, again, a horse even. So
dangerous.
This is just a small example of how much poison they put in all of your food, and why you got to be really watchful.
I know, bro. Yo, right now,
look at what you eat. Look at the ingredients. Look up the ingredients. What does it mean?
Yeah, right now.
Does your body need that?
I'm getting
or not.
I don't know if I can say that. Like, I don't know if I can say I'm getting red pill, but I'm getting into the. I'm like, yo, bro. Okay, some shit has to change right now. What's going on? Like Robert Kennedy.
Complete lifestyle change. I'm so down only way.
Yeah, I'm so down with the Robert F. Kennedy thing that he wants to eliminate all of this shit.
I gotta say, I respect that. I mean, he is limited in his position, but for the most part, he seems to be going towards the right direction.
I mean, his intention seems to be to help the fucking world. So
absolutely.
I don't know.
But again, his power is limited in his position.
Yeah,
There's
but
only so much he
I
can
can
do.
only hope. I can only expect him to have the ambition. I can't fault him for not having the.
No, you're right. You're right.
But
no fault. I mean, yo, that's a man. That's one of those few people out there. Like, you know, he's a descendant of like pretty much victims of conspiracy and assassination.
Gang.
So much. So it's like there's a lot in that. I'll tell you this. One of the things, my good brother Muhammad, he keeps asking me, what have you been reading lately? And I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You know, I believe in Yahweh ben Yahweh, the nation of Yahweh. So most of my reading is Nation of Yahweh materials or Yahweh ben Yahweh's books.
What does it mean? You're Jewish?
Good question. No, I'm not Jewish, and I do not practice Judaism.
What is the difference?
Good question. I'm gonna tell you the difference on that too. This is an important point. And I invite everybody to look this up, because if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're going to call me anti-Semitic.
Jesus Christ.
I was born a so-called white Canadian Christian, right? My mom was Catholic, my dad was Protestant.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to that, but like the difference between Hebrew and Jewish is Hebrew is actually an identity that relates nationally, genetically, and one could say ethnically, or their ethnicity.
Mm-hmm. It's like
I would argue that the whole world is Hebrew. But that's a whole nother thing. I'll break it down briefly. Adam, who is considered to be the father of all men, Adam is a Hebrew name.
Okay.
And then after the flood, anything antediluvian, historically, anything that's after the flood, Noah, Noah's a Hebrew name. So Noah had 3 sons.
You're the religion that Jesus was, actually.
I would say that, I would say similar, like Jesus, the people, the word Jesus, right? Most people call a man who walked the earth 2,000 years ago Jesus. Yeah. And in all truth, this man, his real name You know, most people, like in Arabic, they often say Isa for Yeshua, Joshua, Jesus, Jesus. In Greek, they say Jesus, or in Latin, they say Jesus. But Isa bin Maryam, which is the son of Miriam. In Hebrew, they more commonly say Yahshua ben Yosef, which is Joshua, or Yeshua, the son of Joseph. However, his real name was Yahshua Yehuda
John
Yisrael. Because Yahshua was his name, Yehuda was his tribe, and Yisrael was his nation. All right, he was a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. He was the son of Mary and of Joseph. Although, if you understand and believe Immaculate Conception and let me be specific here. I was about to say the word theocracy, but that's not the right word. Theocracy is like the government of God.
Okay.
Theophany. It's the manifestation of God. Theo is a Greek word for God. Like when you go to school, theology is logy is the study of, right? Like psychology is the study of the psyche. Sociology is the study of society.
So
theology is the study of God. Theo is how you say God
funny
in
is
Greek.
melody, no, it's music, no funny.
Funny?
Phony.
Phony. Oh, phony. Phony.
Theophonic.
Theophony. Well, it's not phony. You're right. It is music phony, but phany.
Okay.
The spelling would be Phany.
Okay.
Theophany.
Okay.
Christ.
It's like an epiphany.
There are many people in history from the time of Adam to now who have come and manifested characteristics or qualities of God. They were God in the flesh to some degree. Maybe not the full manifestation of God. These are theophanies. So me personally, I acknowledge the man who they call Jesus, Yahshua or Isa, Yeshua ben Yosef. John was his when we talk about John the Baptist, was his like kind of his minister, but at the same time he himself said, "Who am I to baptize you? Like you should baptize me," type thing. Because you're like, I know you're the one, so to speak.
John, what was the one who baptized him?
He was, and he was later killed because of a woman who requested the king Herod at the time, a tetrarch, who was Jewish, not Hebrew, though claimed like 1/4 Hebrew identity. You
read the Bible?
Yes, I have.
Multiple times?
There's many passages I've read multiple times. But the entirety of the Bible, beginning to end, I could honestly say I've read it one full time. During my period of time where I was in detention, I had an opportunity to kind of read through it. And there's like reading, I have like scheduled readings where I read throughout the year. So every year, like in the last, I could do the math right now, I'll tell you, since 2008, so that's like 18 years right now, if you include 18 and 2025, maybe 17 if you don't count all of 2025 since we're in the middle of 2025. I've read the Torah, the first 5 books, I've read it 18 times, beginning to end. The rest of the Bible, I've read at least once in entirety, and there's many books that I've read many times, and many chapters that I've read many times in my study. But to go back to the difference between Hebrew and Jewish, I go back to Noah. Noah is a Hebrew name. Noah had 3 sons. The whole world history is kind of associated with this. Every nationality in the world can be traced back to his 3 sons. These are our forefathers: Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham.
We're all inbreeded.
Kind of, but not really. Because things changed and evolved. Like, even biblically, you're allowed to marry your cousin, for example, but not your brother or sister.
I was waiting for this.
But to be specific, the line of Shem, right? Noah had Shem, Japheth, and Ham. From the line of Shem is where you get these Shemitic lines. So when they say anti-Semitic, they're actually saying anti-Shemitic, anti the descendants of Shem.
So that's how I have to identify now.
Maybe. You're hilarious. But the line of Shem goes down to like the lines that we know, like Eber or Heber, which is where the word Hebrew comes from, which is an ancestor and predecessor of Abraham. And Isaac and Jacob. Abraham is regarded as like unanimously like the most well-known monotheistic prophet in the world.
Prophet?
He's a prophet of God.
Like Jesus?
He's regarded, Jesus is more often referred to as a Messiah or a Christ or God in the flesh.
Yeah.
Less often as a prophet, although he is still a prophet.
So he's like the Muhammad of the Hebrew religion.
Kind of like when you say Hebrew religion, there are religions like that are Hebraic, like Yahwehism or Judaism
Okay, so it's not
or
a religion.
other Hebraic. Like my faith is not a religion.
Okay, it's a faith.
It is a faith. It is a spiritual faith
Okay.
where God did not give us a religion.
Okay,
He gave us
okay, you know what?
laws,
Okay, you know what?
judgments,
Already-
statutes, and commandments to obey.
Okay, already right there. I love that shit.
Man created religion.
I love that shit.
Based on their misinterpretation
Preach.
of God's laws.
I love that
judgments,
shit.
statutes,
I
and
don't have a
commandments.
religion. I have a faith.
Yeah, like
motherfuckers.
I put this in a song way back in the days on a Theory beat with Medusa from RP Royal Peasants and also Nomadic Massive. Shout out.
Let's light it up. Here. I don't give
All
a
right.
fuck.
Oh yeah. All right. That's how we doing
I
it
don't
then.
give a fuck.
All
Nobody's
right,
watching.
I'm just gonna take a quick paper because the grabber don't stick together as well as
Oh,
other
I know
things.
what it is. I
All
know
right.
what it is.
But as we move in, I'll spit you that verse. You want to hear that verse?
Of course.
All right, check this out.
did
This is
did
old
put-
school.
Did you put it in a song already? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. If you want, we could play it. Unless you.
Yeah, but I
All right, so I'm gonna spit it
the
live for
acapella
you.
was sounded
The
way better.
acapella,
Do you
all
wanna?
Let's do it like that. All right. All right. Yo, there's two verses. I'm only gonna spit the second one because the second one is what I was just quoting. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Is it the right rhythm?
Yeah, I could. Yo, honestly,
You know what I mean.
I could just make it work. So
You
whatever
know when
it
people,
is.
you know when people you know when people be like stingy with the rhythm, be like, I can't rap on that type of beat. I'm like, bro, it's your 4 bars.
I do know that. I do. Well, I'm about to spit you a 16, but it's the last 4 to connect to what we just said.
Okay. Bam,
So,
bam, 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 bam.
all right. This is from Till Death. Check it out on Bandcamp, LogiX. Second verse. All right, yo. On the streets, all I see are disorderly authorities, majorities in poverty, the conflicts of war and peace, memories of it. Oh, wait, I messed it up.
It's fine. Yo,
That's
bro,
okay,
it's the
we'll
whole
do it.
verse.
On the streets, all I see are disorderly authorities, majorities in poverty, the conflicts of war and peace, harmonies of different wills, eccentricities. This life is the epitome of real authenticity. I heard the words of a mute with a deaf man's ear. My world's observed from a view that looks just as clear while seeing visually impaired through a blind man's eyes. To keep it mentally aware, utilize that mind. I'm untouched but felt in depths of mental perception. When I'm smelling deception, I'm what hell is to heaven. I was born in God's image when the devil's complexion. When I look inside the mirror, it's the ghetto reflecting. When I breathe, I vacate feelings of love. Then I breathe and I bring it back. When I bleed, I vacate feelings of love. Then I breathe and taste hate filling my lungs. I'm just living till I die, alive till death. My religion's to survive and try my best. I'm just living till I die, alive till death. My religion's to survive and try my best.
See?
So that's like, but so to just before we do
Is
light
it that
this up.
hard? Is it that hard, people? Huh?
The
Is it
last
that-
thing I want to say, just to distinguish the difference between Jewish and Hebrew, especially because I'm wearing this Hebrew Academy, because in the Nation of Yahweh, we have a Hebrew Israelite Academy, right? And we have a Yahweh University, which have both achieved extremely high academic excellence and notoriety around the world since the late 80s, all right? So look into that if you know, like...
Is it fun?
I mean... as far as I'm concerned, learning is fun.
But I mean, is it a fun school?
Well, when you say school, it's really more of an ideology and a philosophy
I'm
and a
just
school of thought. Though there were actual schools and still are to this day.
Oh, for real?
I myself am more just a student of the master teacher, which is Yahweh bin Yahweh.
That's Jesus?
Good question. I would say no. However, what most people believe and think Jesus to be is what I know and believe Yahweh bin Yahweh to be.
Yeah.
So, like, if we go into it, like, when you go into the Bible, for example, the name of the God of the Bible, you could Google it, you could look it up.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Yud-He-Wah-He.
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh. Now, according to the Bible, the Son will come in the name of the Father. John chapter 5:43. The Son will come in the name of the Father, bearing the name of the Father.
So,
it goes
the name
further
of the
to
Father
say
is Jesus, Joshua, Yahweh.
the name of the Father is Yahweh. So therefore, the Son will also be named Yahweh.
So the name of Jesus is Yahweh.
Well, I'm going to break this down for any Jewish or Hebrew scholars out there. The name Yahshua in Hebrew is Yud-He-Wav Shin-Ayin. Now, of all of the theophanies, of all the prophets, of all the people to come in the name of God in history, the closest to come in the name of God, Yud-He-Wav-He, is
Yahweh.
Is the man you call Jesus,
Yeah.
Yahshua,
Yeshua.
Yud-He-Wav Shin-Ayin. So he wasn't Yud-He-Wav-He. He was Yud-He-Wav, almost He, but Shin-Ayin.
Okay.
Yahshua, which means Yahweh's salvation.
This whole thing turned into an anime.
But the
real quick.
Son of the Father is Yahweh, Yud-He-Wav-He, or Wahe, properly pronounced, Yud-He-Wav-He, Bef Nun Sofit, which is bin, which means son, of
Yud.
Yahweh. The son is the Father in the flesh as the Son.
How'd you spell Yud?
Well, in English, Yud would be Y-O-D, which is really a Hebrew letter, Yud, which it's kind of written like this, but it's pronounced Yud. And then I'm going to share this, and y'all can look this up. A lot of people will confirm and definitely support me on this. The true name of God is Yud-He, Wav-He. And the Yud-He is an inhalation of air that is... And the exhalation of air, the Wav-He is...
Yeah.
So it's... Is the true name of God.
It sounds like what we do when we do the
Well, it is like without even concentrating on the Om, without even thinking. When you're born, before you speak a word, your first breath, your first inhalation and exhalation of air when you exit the womb is into eternity.
Breathing is God.
To the point that the same way a painter,
I learned this shit some.
to the same way that a painter will leave his signature on a painting.
God left his signature in our
God
breathing.
left his signature in your DNA.
In the breathing.
And your breathing. But in
Because
your
it's the only way
DNA, if you study your deoxyribonucleic acid all the way down, you could look this up online, science, etc.
Represent.
There are 4 letters engraved in every person's name on the earth, in every person's genetic, and all it, and that those 4 letters are the name of God. Yud-He-Wav-He. Because you are the art and he is the artist. You are the creation and he is the creator.
But then I feel like God when I create.
That's because he created you in his image, and he's a creator. So you can create too. He gave you creative powers.
Gang shit. We're like the admin. We're not like the admin on the computer. We're like the guest, but we can still create through Photoshop. All right, you want some?
Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the first time I do this.
Put a little light in the darkness.
Sorry, Peter, if you're watching. Okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what he's talking about. Do you remember High Times magazine when you ordered the herb that didn't have no THC and it was legal anyway? You know.
No.
I mean, I don't know either, but it's decriminalized here now. So
that's what we're smoking.
Elon Musk on Joe Rogan.
Yo, did you ever smoke spice? It's called spice, but it's just like a mix of spices that actually get you high as fuck, like 10 times higher than weed.
I don't think I've done that in that context, but there's a lot of things. Like, have you ever tried? I was about to say stevia. That's the sugar. Salvia.
Bro,
That's what it's
salvia,
called, right?
Yes, I tried, but it's kind of a different thing because this lasts 15 minutes, right? And it's like a real big trip.
Yeah, it's more like hallucinogenic.
But
they compare it to mushrooms, but much shorter.
Yeah, but the other thing I smoked it was called spice, and it was actually legal. It was a mix of actually spices. I don't know what it is.
Well, you know what? My father told me a story. So shout out to my father. Rest in peace, Kevin Kaluza.
Rest in peace.
He told me a story that when they were young in Côte d'Ivoire and in the Plateau growing up in the 70s.
Your father was also growing up in the...
Yeah, he was born and raised in Montreal, and he lived in the Plateau in Côte d'Ivoire.
And he also doesn't know French?
He spoke French, actually.
Okay.
I speak French, too. I'm just, so if we want, on peut parler français.
You do. But I'm just saying, it's crazy how... Because I, as a French-Canadian, we kind of are raised to not know that you all exist. You know what I mean?
I feel you, but you know what? Like when you go to NDG and Côte d'Ivoire, especially because most of the immigrants came to Côte d'Ivoire, and most people around the world, their second language becomes English because of how popular the entertainment and the music became in the last few centuries.
This is the language of the world. You want to reach the world, you got to speak English, motherfuckers. Right.
Most people that come here, they already kind of know a little bit because they were thinking about it on their way here. They were learning, they were reading, they were...
French?
English. The ones that come to Quebec, yes, especially in the last 15, 20 years, there's a heavy emphasis. You can't come here unless you speak French or you put your children in the French schools, etc.
I'm actually a huge hater of the whole culture of this. I love the culture of Quebec, but I hate this idea of
kind of control,
language.
Like totalitarian.
Because for me, it's a huge, how do you say that? Something to restrict me. It's a big restriction for me not to have the accent and know the whole language perfectly. I kind of can't actually speak English now. You see, when I'm trying to concentrate, shit, I'm losing it. But I kind of know how to speak English now. But fuck, bro, it's hard as fuck. I would like to be part of this whole universe. I would like to just hop on TikTok and be myself and not feel,
I totally feel you. I mean, at the same time, though, we're living in a world where anything can happen.
It's acceptable now.
And, I mean, a lot of things are acceptable, right? Like, me personally, right? I do this, and to me personally, it's acceptable. But for some people, it might not be. Maybe even some people in my own faith, in my own nation, or my family, my friends. So it's like I'm not doing this to promote negativity.
Yeah.
but I'm very open and honest about it. Like even with my children, which I'm gonna take this opportunity to say shout out to the warrior princess Korra the explorer / adventurer, and my son Super Fast Fire, aka Naruto Yoel. When I say summoning jutsu, you come.
I love that shit, bro. I hope I can have children soon.
I love y'all.
Much love.
And I won't hide what I do from you. But, you know, this is my vice.
I feel like, bro, okay. Fuck, I had an idea in my mind, and then it went away. It's fine. I got another one now.
It'll come back.
I feel like weed is the best vice, because I feel like everybody has a vice. Even if your vice is to run, bro, you're going to fuck up your knees, okay?
Eventually.
I'm just saying, bro, everything done in too much, you know, everything done too much is wrong, is bad for you. But if I smoke weed until I die, I feel like it's way less hurtful than if I drink alcohol or if I sniff cocaine or whatever.
You're absolutely right. And I would just say everything in moderation, because too much of anything is not a good thing. I used to be addicted, y'all, to Gatorade.
What?
Anybody that knows me knows back in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Hella funny, bro.
Yo, it was to the point that I would even be sending people to the store for me to go pick up like 6-packs and 12-packs because I only had one left in the fridge. And it's like, oh, you're coming over? Yo, could you pick up? Yeah, I'll pay you when you get here. Yeah, and it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't to get, I always drank the fruit punch one. Because even then, I was kind of getting on my knowledge about the food.
The red one.
And the yellow one had yellow number 5, which had pork in it. And even the orange one had that in it, which I liked. So I stopped drinking the orange one. I would only drink the red one because it didn't have yellow number 5. But it had sugar, and it had so much sugar. Like, look, in a 500 milliliter or 591 milliliter bottle, or a 1 liter bottle, which are the two I used to get the most. Let's say the 1 liter. In 1 liter, the on the back, what it would tell you was for 250 milliliters, which is 1 cup. In 1 cup, it had 50 grams of sugar. Now, every adult only needs 25 to 30 grams. If you're an extremely big man or woman, like 7 feet tall, you might need 35 grams of sugar a day, maximum. That 1 cup had 25 grams more than any person needed.
A day.
In 1 cup. And 1 bottle had 4 cups.
Oh.
So and I would drink like 2-3 of those a day. So like,
and you're not even responsible, bro. They push that shit on us since we're 2 years old.
But you know
bro.
what? Somewhere in time, you got to take responsibility.
I know, but for fuck's sake, bro.
And it took me some time because I really didn't want to let it go because it had a lot to do. I was like, I like the taste, the fruit punch. I've always liked the fruit punch, the mixes of that.
They make it delicious.
And it was so delicious, but eventually I just stopped it. And now I really only drink water and fruit juices. When I drink fruit juices, I try to get like the best ones you could get out there. At this time, unfortunately, are only apple and orange, not from concentrate.
But you can make your smoothies and shit.
Oh yeah, you can make smoothies. I'll be doing that.
Life is good. We got this.
The best ones for me there is the almond beverage with almond.
What you mean?
Butter. Like, see, the reason I don't call it milk is because if you read any of the containers, it's not milk.
No, it's not milk.
Milk comes from the nipple of a mammal. A lot of people call it that. You're right. Yeah. But it's either soy beverage or almond beverage or now a lot of oat beverage. It's actually
just putting
coconut
water
beverage
and almond in a fucking blender. So
right.
It's actually
pretty much. Yeah, and it's pretty good too. You know, sometimes more protein. Like, we were lied to as children when they said milk does a body good.
Bro.
That was just for them to sell for the milk industry. Bro. Like, cow milk is not good for you.
Talking about conspiracies, bro, this one fucked me up.
That was a big one.
I'm a big fan of milk, bro. By the way, I don't know why.
When I was a child, I was too. You could ask my cousins. We used to have competitions drinking, like, whole glasses. How many could you drink? Eat a cookie, drink a whole glass. Eat a cookie, drink a whole glass. We would go to the store. It used to be, this is another thing, seal test milk used to be $1.95 for 2 liters. I would go to the store with a $2 bill, which we don't have anymore. Now we only have toonies. I would get that and come back. Me and my cousin Eric, we would drink that. We would finish that in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, it does a body good. We're going to be strong. We didn't know it was really messing us up and doing all of that until like we felt bloated hours later. But we didn't even associate it with the milk. It's like, it must have been the cookies or the pizza we had, the cheese, and the cheese come from milk. Anyway,
all the fucking dairy shit we used to eat, bro. Now, bro, I'm using AI, ChatGPT, to calculate my macros. You know,
word up, like your intake of calories.
Yeah, my calories, proteins, and all that shit. And now that
that's
I calculate,
what's up. They have apps for that where you can, as long as you input what you take, it'll give you an accurate reading.
You know what I mean? But now, fuck this app. I can just tell ChatGPT what I'm eating, and he's telling me it's free. It's crazy now. But yeah,
ChatGPT. You know what? I need to set up a battle. Me versus ChatGPT.
Of what? Freestyle?
I mean, I don't think it could freestyle.
No.
I think it would have to like pre-program, but like
it can definitely freestyle.
But we could create it. Like its freestyles wouldn't be that rhythmical or rhyming.
No,
you know,
it's not the same.
You know, I seen actually shout out to like
it's not impressive.
Everybody in the West Coast there with like Ilmac and Passwords, and I seen y'all create that whole like battle against AI.
For real?
Yeah, they did it. It's online, so it's pretty dope. You know, like shout out to them. They had that whole thing like mustard versus ketchup. I don't know if you've seen that. It's crazy. Look that up if you ain't seen it.
Yeah, I gotta put a little clip over
Yeah,
here.
that's hilarious.
But that's dope, bro. Okay, but I'm super down. But I feel like same shit for when I'm talking about making music with AI. I just feel like AI is not. I'm not afraid of AI because you use it, bro. It's just
right.
You decide where you feel like it's useful. What the fuck? Is it that big of a deal? No. Is it me or sorry?
No. It's all good.
Is it me or you know? Is it me or it's like, bro, if you feel like you need some help for something, this shit's gonna help you. Why would people scare about this shit? If it becomes sentient, it's another idea. Now I'm living in a fucking sci-fi movie and it's also awesome. I don't give a fuck. It's scary as fuck too.
That's another thing. There's a lot of evidence to support that, you know, we're living in a simulation. Now, to me, this is no different than the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
it's all the just same saying, shit. It's like, oh, so we're in a computer program?
It's all the same.
So there's a programmer.
Yeah, it's all the same.
That's what you're saying. That's all it proves to me.
Every theory is all the same. So
yeah.
I feel like it's not a real the best theory, but it's just because we can't comprehend what's beyond them. So that's the best way to illustrate.
When you say can, I would say a lot of us don't, but we all can, and we have the capacity to. And that's one of the things that kind of like the light in the darkness and like the diamond in the rough or whatever you want to call it, like the underdog fighting to win. Like that's what it is. Like somehow, like to go back to what I was saying way earlier when I was talking about being connected with the source and being able to go all the way back to the source and connect with any other place and time or point in existence, not just in our timeline, in any timeline, in the multiverse, etc., and come back to where you are in your timeline with that awareness that in theory you should have no reason to possess. Yo, that happens all the time with people almost every day. Like miracles happen every day. A lot of people don't see that. They think there's no miracles, or they're running around looking for the signs and the miracles, and they're missing that just the sunrise is a miracle. Just waking up is a miracle. Everything is miraculous, to the point that like the thoughts that your brain are sending to your organs, your internal organs to breathe, they're so miraculous.
But it's also like the same way we see morals in the animes, where not everybody sees them.
Right.
It's also like that where the miracles you're talking about, it's actually about being able to see them. Just noticing what is a miracle, actually.
Yeah, totally. And like what I was going to say is that in relation to what I said earlier about connecting with any space and time through the source, you can actually, like, you'll experience something in your life, and everybody else does, that you don't know what to do. You don't know how to deal with it. You have to think about everything you've ever experienced and everything you've ever witnessed and heard about to kind of contemplate, how am I going to approach this thing?
And then,
how am I going to solve this thing, right?
And
then somehow, whether you win, lose, or draw, fail, succeed, etc., at the other side of that thing, you're now there with an experience, whether you won or lost, or whatever the situation that now you have, that if you were to be in the same situation or a similar one, you now have a bet. As long as you theoretically lived or whatever, I would argue that in that position, you received what you were supposed to receive, that in theory you had no tangible way of knowing. The experience itself created the pressure on every side, mentally, physically, spiritually, etc., for you to actually produce, kind of like a coal under pressure produces a diamond, to shine forth and rise to the occasion, and do something that no one knew you could do. You yourself didn't know you could do. You didn't know how you were going to do it. Somehow you knew you were going to do it if you did it. If you didn't do it, maybe you failed, but the failure was still the lesson you learned. They're like, hey, I didn't do it, but I know why I didn't do it, or I know why I fell short. I know why I didn't, you know.
It's the type of lessons people tell you when it's too early for you to understand, but then once at our ages, you feel like, oh, okay, I get what it means now. Because
agreed.
I wouldn't exchange. You know when people say that, I wouldn't exchange my path for anything else. I love where I've been through.
Like if they give you those questions, like, yo, if you could go back till you were 10 years old with your brain now,
I would not.
Or take 10 million now, or the blue pill or the red pill, like what would you take? Like me, there's a lot of, like, it's fun to imagine or wish, but none of that's real, right? So it's like, oh, the best you could do is take that and apply it now. Oh, like, what could I do from now until all the time I have left?
But even if it was real, what if the question was you can go back to when you were 10 years old, but then every experience you had until now is not guaranteed.
It's right. None of them are guaranteed because based on the choices you make.
Would you take it if it would make you probably a different person at the age you are now?
Like it's very tantalizing. Like it makes you want to, right?
I don't know because I'm proud of who I am and I wouldn't change it.
Same here. Like
So
that, my final decision is no. I am who I am because of my experiences.
So it's not even
the
tantalizing.
good and the bad all makes me who I am right now.
Yeah, for me it's more.
Although my goal is long-term good and great and to provide and produce something for future generations, my own children, their children, my children's children, to leave something of value, a legacy of some sort that hypothetically my children could live off and their children could live off.
Yeah.
Even though I'm raising my children to do work that they themselves can live off their own work as opposed to having to work for somebody else. But in the event of during that process them having hard times, they can rely on the support I've provided as a man doing my own work. So
when you have children, I feel like it changed a lot of your perspective of shit.
I think it adds purpose to your life because it's almost like an extension of yourself.
Yeah.
Like God bless both my biological mothers and father who are gone. They're almost closer to me now in a sense because I tell people all the time when you lose someone that you love or a close one to you, they live on in the hearts of those who remember them. Or no, wait, they live on in the hearts of those who love them and the minds of those who remember them. So it's like, and they also literally, biologically, genealogically live on through their descendants if they've had children.
Yeah.
And in some cases, even not their own children, maybe their nephews or nieces, or because there's elements that transmit and transact influence and qualities and characteristics beyond the genetic hereditary traits. So
I know that's stupid, but also we live through those type of shit too.
What's up, y'all, in the real world?
Every lesson that you had to
world.
give today, and everything you spit today on this microphone is. I hope it's going. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this as intemporal, infinite as possible.
That would be lovely. I mean, I look forward to seeing the outcome. In short, I also look forward to building with you more and doing more things like this. And anybody out there, if you're interested in me and what I'm doing, like you could always check me out on my social media handles under Don Lennon.
It's not done. We're not over.
All right, we'll get there later. But, just, there's a lot of things.
Don Lennon, I'm going to put your IG on everything.
All right, cool.
But yeah, bro, you got to follow this motherfucker. He gave me another knowledge when I was younger and today again. And
you know what? Let's go back. Let's start. Do you remember? I could tell you my story, but tell me your story. I've been talking too much. How did you meet me? How do you remember the whole, how did we meet? And then from there, and you know what? Because of what I just said, forget how we met. Before that, tell me how, before we met, what got you into what you were doing that brought you into the position in your life, which obviously brought you with, what's her name? Tanya, the girl that used to come through.
Tabby.
And the brother, Tab.
Now she's called Tabby, but she used to be called Vaina.
Okay, word up. That's it, Via. And then homeboy, the Arab boy, y'all had a group y'all used to come through. So tell me your story on that, how everything formed before y'all met me, and then how you met me. And I'll take it from there.
Okay, gang.
I want to hear this. I'm all ears.
It started, I used to have an ambition of making music, and I didn't really know how to approach that shit. So I used to make bands with everybody I used to know. My little sister used to go to a private school, and she had a bunch of friends, and I used to meet them after school, and we used to chill and smoke weed at the spot. And I just realized that a bunch of them had, one was a fan of Eminem, the other one had a couple of rhymes written in this book and shit. They were all the little artists, but they never really rapped and shit. So I was like, yo, you wanna? I'll make a beat, and we just start we make songs and shit. And then one of them.
That's how it starts, man.
Yeah, one of them called Erno Ore. His dad went to Haiti for like a whole year to help humanitarian shit. So he left him the house. So we had the house for us, and we just.
So cool.
We lived in the house, so we made beats for the whole year.
Incroyable.
And we created a band called Le Collectif. And then after all that was over, it was kind of sad. But after that, I formed this other group with Tabi Osha, now that's her name.
Right.
Right. And Abdes. We were four, and it was a band I made, and I made the beats, and I invited them home. They recorded their verse and shit.
What was that name? What was the name of that?
Strugglesome Fellas.
Strugglesome Fellas. That's how I met him. I met him as the Strugglesome Fellas.
So that's what we were. We used to walk the street of Montreal with a ukulele, and we used to try to
So cool.
Have attention from
Authentic Montreal art, music scene.
Yeah, we walked around before the internet and all that shit, So yeah, we walked around with a ukulele, and we made an impression, People just used to remember the guy with the ukulele with the band and shit. So we just made freestyles and we had fun. One of them was like, one love to the people inside of my head. So we used to do weird songs like this, and we had fun. And we have actually a whole album on YouTube. It's called No More Colors. So really badly mixed and all that shit, but it was the beginning of.
That's that real shit.
The humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings.
So,
I respect that and appreciate that.
During those little walks around Montreal, we often ended up at L'Escalier, which is now dead. Rest in peace to L'Escalier.
Rest in peace. Shout out to Vero and Frédéric.
Yeah, I don't remember the names but it was crazy. It was a real nice place where, actually, it was more like we were not major.
You know what? Like, if y'all have never been there, Escalier was like an apartment. It was like a 6.5 or a 7.5 with a bar in the living room
you had to climb
and
a
a
flight
stage.
of stairs. Yeah.
When you go up the flight of stairs, quand tu montes l'escalier, tu rentres dans l'escalier. You're there, il y a une bar, c'est comme une 7,5. Il y a comme 5-6 chambres, deux salles de bain. Puis il y a une scène, a stage.
A little stage. Really
little stage in the corner of the living room where there's a bar.
Sometimes professional
and they serve food.
artists from across the world.
And, we did events there. Like my organization, which is now known as Humbleux. You can look us up online, humbleux.com. But before that, Sovereign Music Movement, Sovereign Prerogative Live Creations, how we met. We were doing an event there called Big Bang Montreal. Maybe even Mike and Them Lights when we first met. But then Big Bang Montreal. And it was every week. And it was like the show was just, we used to do a poetry event there, but because sometimes things were happening in the other rooms, it was so loud, we couldn't really do the poetry. We saw it wasn't very effective because sometimes there would be someone in the room playing guitar, or sometimes there would be like...
It was the type of vibe.
It was the type of vibe.
Like
Escalier, all types of
CGEP.
stuff happening in different rooms. They had food, they had alcohol, and a lot of legends today, modern day Montreal legends came through there back in the days, including him, with his group Strugglesome Fellows, where me and Monkey, my homie Oddman Black, DJ 70 or DJ Mark the Magnanimous hosted a weekly event.
K6C.
And we changed it. I created an event with inspiration with my brothers and sisters called Big Bang Montreal.
And that's when it became dope.
Instead of just the Mike and Dim Lights, which was still super dope, and we brought that somewhere else, which was poetry, we did the Big Bang, which was freestyle. We catered to the location.
Jam.
It was an open jam session with a DJ who, in between every artist performing, would play music. Me and my colleagues would co-host. He would sometimes play instrumentals, so we would freestyle or improvise off the top, introducing the next artist. So there was never a dull moment. We had artists of every genre, singers, rappers, MCs, poets, even actors, actresses doing like monologues or soliloquies, like practicing for an audition they had later that week in front of the crowd.
Then it started getting packed.
Then it was packed. We had it filled up for pretty much 7 years, every single
packed.
week.
People were always there, big ambiance. The show, whatever show was there, bro, people had fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of shows there every week, and I like every day almost. So I used to go there almost every day, just pass by, see the shows that were going on. But honestly, a lot of them were good. Solo Vox, there was a bunch of them. But ours was kind of considered the best.
Of course it was.
The Big Bang Montreal. Respectfully. Sovereign Prerogative Live Creations.
So that's how we met.
Movement. And that's when we met.
And that was amazing. And then what was crazy was that
Let me just say, I was impressed. I was so impressed by you and your group because it was diversity, right? Like, I didn't even necessarily know you were French Canadian, but I had that impression. The girl in your group was black. I had the impression Haitian or African, singing with a dope voice. And then the next dude was Arabic.
American.
But he was still spitting in French. Yeah. And,
some Jamaican
and you did a lot of, heavy on all of you, actually.
But mostly him. He used
and you, what I was most impressed by, respectfully, because all three of you were amazing talents. But you, brother, you did a wide variety of vocal ranges and styles,
hooks.
English and French hooks. And sometimes, even what I was talking about earlier when I said like James Brown with a ha, or Michael Jackson with a like you would come with some shit that wasn't like audible, it wasn't words, but it'd be like, whoa, or something. And like whether it was instruments or beats, fire. To the point that to this day, everything you do, it's been years. We just reconnected in the last like couple months.
Yeah.
But it's been years I haven't really seen him or connected. But I've been following him on social media the whole time.
Much
And
love.
everything I see the extension of what I used to see when he came to the shows on the stage. And I love it and keep doing it. And that's why I'm here, to check out what he's doing. We're maybe going to work on something now. And we're having this exchange to share with y'all. I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah. And you know what? It's time. It's time to stop this humility now. I feel like that's why we're. I feel like now it's time to stop being humble, bro. Because I just want to show people. I want people to know what we're doing, bro.
Okay.
Because we worked so hard. My dad used to tell me this. He used to tell me, you got to get paid for every hours you worked on your music. And
That's great.
now I'm just at the time.
That's not bad advice.
Exactly. I'm just at the time now. I'm just like, I gotta collect. It's time to collect.
Come to collect.
So that's the vibe now. I'm trying to find a original and humble way to show how, undeniable the skills are, the talents is, and the good music is present. Because I know it's a lot about marketing and all that shit, but I mean, good music is actually what we're selling, bro. So
good music is good music. That's what actually pervades and permeates the culture and society. Like it's the things that are undeniable.
Yeah.
Like for example, I was never a big Soulja Boy fan. Maybe some of you are, but
undeniable.
that shit he did was undeniable. That Superboy, that whoa, that boy, that whoa. He from the dance to the song to he made the beat, he did the video, everything. It was like, oh,
That's why. That's why I said earlier.
Salute.
When you know how to make good music, or when when you have the mind, you don't care where it comes from. You just know when it happens.
So what are you saying? You want me to drop a freestyle? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but I would like if you okay. How do you make music?
Mix?
No, how do you make your songs?
How do I make music? Oh, that's a great question. I'll be honest with you. Because I'm at a point now where I've been doing it for so long, I'm not married to any idea. Nothing is set in stone. I'm open to do creative new things. I like to do things that I've never done before. But because I've been doing music and recording for about like literally 25 years now, there's a lot of things I've done. Well, about 16. Like prior to that, I've recorded a few things between 13 and 16, but I don't have them. I have no access to them. And they were like little recordings on computers, on beats, and that my homies made on Fruity Loops, or things that like in high school, that like freestyling at lunch and after school, that going to their house.
I know what you mean.
But like by 16, 17, I started going to record with my homie Kaliko, Shonda Ryan. You could check him online. He's an actor. He's wonderful with the beats and also with the voice and the flows and the skills and everything. Good homie. Me and him go way back. We went to Trails End Camp together. I mentioned Sun Youth earlier because I went there for several years. But I went to Trails End for a couple years. And one of them years I was there with him. Then we was in Roslyn Elementary School together. I didn't see him from when I was like 10 or 11 until like 16. My boys are telling me, oh, there's this dude Kaliko. And if you know video games, before Nintendo and Sega Genesis, there was ColecoVision and Atari. Damn. So I'm like, Kaliko? I'm like, who's that? My boys are like, yeah, we recorded a song or two. I listened to it. I'm like, yo. They're like, yo, you need to come through. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. So I eventually come through. And this is notorious. I'm going to drop something right now for everybody in Montreal, especially the Anglophone Montreal hip-hop community. We had this thing in NDG called The Basement. This was my brother Kaliko's thing, The Basement. That's where some of the most legendary Anglophone hip-hop artists in the city came through. Before I had my loft, which is almost equally or greater in legendary status, where I had everybody in the city, Anglophone and Francophone, coming through. This was Anglophone. It was me. It was mostly the West End of Montreal, Uptown DG, a little bit of Burgundy here and there. But, like, shout out to my mans that came through, from Widget to his brother Jungle to, like, you know, of course, who's the most popular to come out of all of our circle, probably iBlast, who's now Blicky, out in Toronto with OVO, and my man Lost One, you know, Hennessy Loco. You know, we were there recording all the time. My man Street Cypher Star, going by Streets right now, just did the joint with Pro V. If you want to check out Pro V's music, it's super fire. Did a nostalgic, legendary album from Montreal, included artists from all over.
None of your music is on Spotify, you said?
Oh, you know what? Unfortunately, for those who listen on Spotify, you can only find some of my features right now on Spotify. Like,
why would you not post everything?
Oh, that's a great question. All right, I'll be honest with you. I'm part of a really, like, I would say avant-garde, like independent, you know, ethnomusicological cultural production company. So it's like, to begin with, our whole psychology and philosophy towards music and art is very different from the mainstream. For example, the pure tape that I was talking to you about earlier, we make pure tapes versus mixtapes. So it's like, I guess the main thing I want to share is that we're, in spirit, in heart, in essence, and in core, there's an independent, autonomous, sovereign, you know, self-governing. There is humility, but it has more to do with administering to the needs of our own hands.
You want to stay pure
rather than reaching out to others. Like, very pure, a purist, a realist. It is that.
Because I feel the same. It's hard to express, but you express it well. It's just you want to find a way to make this whole thing without having to get fucked by P. Diddy. I get it. But
the diddler.
But the idea is that I love that it's hard. You know what I mean?
But you know what? That's kind of like, you choose your heart, right? This is a good like little gem for everybody out there. Like, you could choose to go live in the streets and like collect cans or like collect donations and yeah, like, but if you choose that, you might get a movie deal or a record deal or whatever, but that's your heart. You got to sit there and take it, whatever it is that you got to take, right? On the flip side, like, whatever it is, if you got to work, if you got to go work a job, you got to work a 9 to 5, or you're on the grind, whatever you're doing, you got to navigate through that environment and succeed one way or another. And if you don't, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you do. Like, I'm one of a mind that I could tell you there's not one thing that you cannot do, or sorry, there's nothing that you, can't do that won't be successful if you give it your all. Like, whatever it is. What I think is the best for any person to do, and I'm probably not the first person to say something like this, but you got to find a combination down the line in your life. Part of our life is learning who we are. It's a road to self-discovery. But as you're learning who you are, you got to find something that you're good at.
Yep.
And something that you love to do.
Yep.
And somewhere in between what you are good at and what you love to do, that's what you do. But they say do what you love and love what you do.
That's actually I'm actually glad that we have this forever. Because that's one of the lessons of life that is actually hard to understand. You got to learn who you are. That's your first lesson. First quest in life is finding out who you are. It's more like, learn yourself.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people don't have the ability to do that. It's a real privilege to be able to do that shit.
It's a humbling process. Like, you can't do it without the humbling, because to really know who you are, you have to open yourself up to criticism from other people. You have to interpret that openly and honestly. You have to let your guard down. You have to be willing to really self-examine. Like, I'm going to drop another little knowledge gem for everybody out there. If you've never heard of, have you heard of Johari's window? All right. Johari's window. I mean, they teach this in certain college classes and stuff, but like, Johari's window, y'all could visualize a window, right? Like, most windows, they have like a divider. So there's like 4 windows in every window. Yeah. Not every window. Some of them are just 1 or 2.
No, it's a swag of window.
Let's picture a window with 4 windows in it, kind of. Now, every window is representative of you interpreting yourself for self-discovery. There's 4 windows. I bet y'all could figure it out as I tell you the first 2 or 3 what the 4th one is. But the first one is everything you know about yourself that everybody else knows about you. The second one is everything you know about yourself that nobody else knows about you. The third one is everything everybody else knows about you that you don't know about you. What's the last one? It's what everybody else knows about you, or nobody else knows. They don't, and you don't know. All the things about you that nobody knows. Exactly. So that's the 4 windows right there in Johari's window. And you...
Well, who's Johari?
You know
Sounds
what?
like a nice African guy.
You know what? I actually think it was created by a man named Joseph. I forget his last name at the moment, but please Google me and fact check me. I'm probably not wrong about his name being Joseph because my name is also Joseph or Joseph. So I'm very, and I'm not sure where he got the name Jahari off top. That does sound maybe African or
Sounds
perhaps Geese or Greek or Latin or something like that.
Jahari?
It's Jahari's window.
I'm gonna call my son Jahari.
And
Hey, if I call my son Jahari, you tell me African people are not gonna look at me fucked up? Yeah, so that's what I mean.
you know what? It depends. They might have some, especially because there's so many words that have different meanings in different languages. So we could get into that at another time from the N word and so many other words. But all of that
Maybe
to
not
say,
this one. I don't,
maybe not
just
this
kidding,
one.
just kidding.
Although I'm not shy from that one. We could talk about.
Could
the
you say
history
it?
and
Can you
etymology.
say it?
That's a good question. Can I say it? I'll be honest with you. I can say it. I think everybody with vocal cords can say it.
Yeah, no, that's another
But
question.
I guess what I would say is that because out of respect for those who would be offended
you
by
don't.
me saying it,
You don't.
I wouldn't say it.
But you,
I grew up in a
you consider
community
yourself
around
as-
people, and I was born a so-called white Canadian Christian, like I said earlier. So in theory, I don't have the right to say it.
Yeah.
Even though I've grown up around people that are like, oh, you have the pass, or you can say it, or you can do it, whatever. And I've had experiences as a so-called white person who has quite a diverse background that I could break down after too.
you don't sound totally white.
Well, okay, look, I'm going to start here. Like I keep saying, I'm a so-called white Canadian Christian because that's how I was born. I was born in Montreal at St. Mary's Hospital in Côte-des-Neiges in Quebec, the
moi aussi,
province
je
of
pense.
Quebec in Canada, right? The what they call a country, which is really not a nation or a country. It is a confederate colony of the United Kingdom, respectfully.
We need the fucking anthem.
And the confederation that we signed in 1982, the province we're in, Quebec, is the only province that didn't sign it. But because they're geographically in the location by default, they're part of it. But that's a whole nother thing. So back to me, my mother was also born in Canada and my father too. So I'm legitimately Canadian. However, my mother's parents were both born in Hungary, in Europe. Okay? On her father's side, it goes back Hungarian
Are
and,
people
and
hungry in
Egyptian.
Hungary?
Yes. That's
so-
why a lot of them are a little overweight.
That's so sick.
Respectfully, y'all know me, my Hungarians, y'all know. But anyway, I guess it's kind of a controversial, like unavoidable, taboo, like stipulation of having Hungary. It's pronounced Hungary, but most people just say hungry. Hungarian. Like I'm as hungry as Hungarians might be a bar. I've spit that before freestyling, something like that. But like all of that to go back to that's on my mother's side.
You're getting called.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take this call on the video because it's probably my son or daughter.
Okay, parce que-
Y'all ready for that? Like,
Some-
can I do that, or is that
you-
taboo?
yeah,
Like,
no, you can do whatever you want. As long as...
Thank you for mentioning it to me because I didn't even notice it.
No stress. I got a cat. I don't know what it is. I'm just kidding.
But like, to just keep it up. Look here, we're gonna do it. He asked me if I was gonna shout him out earlier, and I told him I would, and I did. So I'm gonna answer now.
I'm gonna make it a
Hey.
nice clip.
How's it going? Okay. Hey, is everything okay? I'm still at the interview I was telling you about with my homie Oma.
I told you you're on my 12, otherwise I can't play.
So then I probably can't play with you tonight. I'm sorry, son, but we'll play tomorrow. And I already shouted you out. And now you're here, you're not on video, so I can't show you. But you're on the interview. This is gonna make the interview.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm not there yet to play with you, but I'll play with you again tomorrow. All right? I promise.
How long will it take for you to get there?
Honestly, I can't give you a time frame right now. It's kind of unpredictable. It could be a couple hours. I would say play your heart out and hit me up tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
I love you, little man. Do you want to say anything to the people out there listening?
Not really.
Not really?
Shalom.
Shalom. That's what's up. Shalom.
Shalom.
Have a good night. My little son, calling me to play games. Sometimes I'm home right now and he's still up. It's summertime, We do homeschool, so it's not like you have to go to school anyway. But, we be playing games. I co-parent with their mother,
That's fine.
And basically the children, when they're with me, they're with me. But when they're not, sometimes we both got the PS4. So when my son plays, I play. Sometimes we play Fortnite together or whatever online.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
That reminded me of.
I was never a gamer, and everybody that knows me knows that. I used to play Grand Theft Auto in the streets. I wasn't on the PS. I wasn't on the PS with that. That was not, I was there with my. But now my son's into games. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get into games. He's into manga. He's into anime. I'm into manga. I'm into anime. That, like I said, that's even why I kind of got back into Naruto and all these other ones: Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Bleach, all of that, etc.
That's so dope. But yeah, that reminded me of my little nephew, Malik.
Malik.
He also.
That's a beautiful name. That means king.
Yeah. He also keeps asking me to play with him online on the phone and on shit like that. He's into anime and everything the same. That's crazy. He loves Naruto. But now he just starts to get into Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. Oh, you got to go back. You got to,
That's crazy.
Rest in peace to, what is it, Toriyama?
Yeah,
Akira Toriyama, yeah, shout out to him. He inspired Kishimoto with the Naruto and everybody else doing all their anime right now.
Yeah, it was so sad, bro. For me, it was like one of the saddest shit I've ever, like, from someone I don't know, like, it's just, it was...
Yeah, it's impactful to some degree. Yeah,
watching the last Daima, I don't know if you
know, I'm into it, trust me, I'm on that. I'm updated.
So the last...
Super Saiyan 4 is now canon.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. It was, like, it was not... It was kind of childish a little bit, the whole series, but at the same time, it was kind of just like a little goodbye from the Akira Toriyama. I feel like he knew something was going on, so he gave us the whole shit. And at the end, when it's like, it's the last goodbye. It's the real last goodbye. I never had a real last goodbye from Akira, and never gonna have anyone. Like, that's crazy. So it was like, whoa.
I feel like there's a lot of points we touched on I'm going to have to go back on. So right now, let me try to do this in like 1 minute and a half or less. On the anime vibe, I just want to say shout out to all the anime heads in the world that are watching this. Eventually, as you get older, if you don't already read the manga, read the mangas. And the reason I'm telling you that is because you'll have a little bit more of an intimate relationship with the history and the story. And there's a lot of stories that are not necessarily canon. But like, for example, in Dragon Ball, there's a I think it's a fan-made offshoot where they have like Yamcha, where if Yamcha really did not become the character he is now, Yamcha has become the punching bag or the butt of the joke in anime now. Like, if you're a Yamcha, you're the weakest character in your universe type vibe. But like, but he's still stronger than so many universes. You know what I'm saying?
There's so many.
But the fan made Yamcha manga is amazing.
I never saw that shit.
He does everything he can because it's as if he knew what's going to happen in the future. So he trains for when the Nappa and Vegeta come and Raditz come. He takes care of Bulma, make sure when Vegeta comes, she's already his. Like, he does he goes hard, like he never stops training. He goes to train with Roshi with Goku. He goes to he's like, I have to, it's the only way I'll make it. He's a human, so is Krillin. But anyway, all the way back to, that's one point. The second point that I feel like we touched on that I didn't finish that I want to make clear in a simple point, especially if this gets clipped up, is like the difference between Hebrew and Jew. Like, my brother converted to Islam. My sister converted to Judaism. We were all kind of raised Christian, even though my brother's mother was Jewish. My parents were Christian. Like I said, my mom was Catholic. My dad was Protestant. But it's like, me, I embraced the Hebrew Israelite faith as a process of like, more so than like conversion of memory. Like, I remembered. The same way if you dismember a part of your body and you remember it, like, if you have a dislocated shoulder and you relocate
remember shit.
I remembered. I reconnected. I remembered. I reconnected with the body of Christ, really, if you get deep down into it, but the spiritual body from Adam all the way down. So when it comes to Hebrew and Jewish, Hebrew really denotes a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, is where you have the Hebrew Israelite. Like I was saying, I could argue earlier that everybody in the earth is Hebrew because Noah was Hebrew. And
I'm down. Hebrew.
But then now to get to Jewish, when you have Noah's sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, from Shem you have Shemitic lines. Like, when you study languages, etymology, and go back, like Indo-European languages or Sub-Saharan African, when you get into Hebrew, right? They'll talk about Aramaic or Chaldean or Syriac or even Arabic, which to me is a Semitic tongue. To me, Arabic is just a Hebrew dialect from my etymological research. All of these languages come from Hebrew. I would argue that
Latin comes from Hebrew?
Later on. Latin comes from later on. It comes from like after Greek. It's at a period of time in Rome with Italy. You know what I'm saying? Latin. But nevertheless, go back to like most ancient tongues, if you study back, they go back to Latin, Greek, or Hebrew. But I would argue that Hebrew is the mother of all tongues. The ancient original Hebrew, not necessarily the modern day Hebrew.
Do you speak in a
the
bit?
Jews speak? I do. I study it and I read it and I kind of write it.
That sounds
And
hard.
but when you say speak it, like a lot of Jews speak it in a way that I don't necessarily converse with them because there's a wide variety of differences in the pronunciation because of if you look at the actual physical writing, the vowels that they input and diacritical marks that did not exist in any of the ancient original
So you should
Hebrew,
learn Hebrew.
which scholars would say Paleo Hebrew or would say ancient Hebrew or original Hebrew.
So there's different Hebrew?
The modern day Hebrew
Jesus
or the
Christ.
Jewish Hebrew
My God.
is very similar to what they call Yiddish.
Yeah.
Okay,
What is that?
where they
Really?
add marks like there's originally 22 attributes with 5 additional ones making 27 Aleph Bay, which is where the Greek alpha beta comes from, where the English alphabet or the French alphabet comes from.
I feel like
Right?
the way you speak to me about the Hebrewism, that's how you say it?
Well, no, there are religions. There is a religion called Hebrewism.
How'd
There's
you-
a religion called Yahweh. I'm a Hebrew Israelite.
But
To
how'd
be
you call
specific,
the-
I'm an ancient original Hebrew Israelite and I am personally a follower, and I would go further to say I'm a supporter
of
and a believer of the nation of Yahweh, and Yahweh bin Yahweh, and Yahweh as God, Yahweh bin Yahweh is the Messiah, and the nation of Yahweh as, again, though we are acknowledged by the world and like the international
call the thing?
encyclopedias. Well, again, my faith
yeah.
is I'm a Hebrew Israelite. But it's also a nationality and a genealogy and all these other things.
But
It's a spiritual faith. Some people would say Hebrewism or Yahwehism because those are closely related.
okay,
It's not Judaism.
because the ism relates to a religion type shit.
Ism, well, they're kind of, yes. Ism, in a sense, it's a prefix, it's a suffix in words in which it just delineates the meaning it denotes is like something of something.
So it's a Hebrew
So, like, an
faith. So we
idealism
just call it the
is-
Hebrew faith.
I have a Hebrew faith.
So that's how we call it.
But to be specific, it's not Hebraic.
Okay.
Whereas most of these faiths in the world that derive from the Hebrew, like Judaism is a Hebraic faith.
Okay,
I practice and follow and
the Hebrew.
study and believe in the
Damn.
Hebrew faith.
I feel like you,
So to one last distinction, Hebrew and Jewish. Hebrew are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. From Jacob, who becomes Israel, there's the Israelites, and their descendants long term, all the way to modern day. Some of them do practice Judaism. However, Judaism is a religious fraternal order that was created. If you go back to what I was saying about Noah, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, from Shem, you have the lines that go down to Eber, that go down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israel. But from the lines of Shem, Japheth, and Ham, from Japheth, you have a line that goes to Gomer. This is direct. Any of you could fact check me on genealogy and Genesis. After Gomer, you have Ashkenaz. I'm sure you've heard of the Ashkenazi Jew. This is one of the majority. If you look at all the Jews in the world today, correct me if I'm wrong, fact checkers, but roughly 80% of the world Jews today are Ashkenazi. There's others. There's Sephardic. There's, they'll say Orthodox or
Damn.
Hasidic
It's so complex.
and variations.
It's like the
but
basic.
but to go back to, like, let's just say the Hebrew and Jewish. Judaism is a religion that any person in the world today can convert to. Hebrew Israelite, like I'm telling you, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Most Hebrew Israelite, when you go back and if you study the Bible, all those people were dark skinned. I'm not dark skinned, so some people be like, "Oh, he's not a Hebrew Israelite." But there's also genealogical evolution throughout the timeline, like because of intermixing bloodlines, and so to speak. Like, I can show you, like what I was telling you earlier on my side. I'll get back to it, but just Hebrew and Jewish. Hebrew is an identity that is predominantly genealogical and biological, however, is also spiritual, as verifiable in the scriptures when it says not every seed of Abraham or descendant of Abraham is of Abraham. Because what that's saying is that not every biological descendant is really even truly a Hebrew, because they don't keep that faith or that lifestyle. Whereas there are many of those who will be referred to as grafted in, who are not biological or genealogical descendants, but nevertheless still carry the same traits, the same characteristics, the same, one could say, properties, which makes them an Hebrew Israelite from one of the 12 tribes to fulfill prophecy that Revelations at the end of the Bible speaks about, when all the 12 tribes are regathered, 12,000 from 12 tribes, 144,000. Anyway, to be continued. But that's the difference between Hebrew and Jewish. Jewish is a fraternal religious order, You can convert to it. Hebrew Israelite, it's not to say you can convert to it, but either you're a biological or a genealogical descendant or a spiritual descendant who reconnects through your connection, not necessarily biological or genealogical, but through your faith and your actions and your lifestyle and your practice and inculcating the principles of Christ and the prophets and our forefathers before us makes you a son.
So just cultivating it well makes you part of it. Makes sense. You can just adhere to it, and if you like it, if you're part of the family, bro, you're part of the family. But what does it?
Facts.
What does it require you of doing, being part of this?
When you say it requires, like, honestly, it requires a wide variety and combination of things, and I think every person's journey is different. But the simple things are like a practice of worship and faith, like keeping of the laws, the judgment, statutes, and commandments, the most base, simple, carnal, practical application of practicing would be every seventh day is the day of rest. It's Shabbat. You keep that day of rest. You follow the simple laws that day. You don't bake, you don't seethe, you don't sell, you don't buy that day.
But do you see those
Then
as rules or just suggestions?
Well, you know what? It gets very deep. When you say rules, like we could say rules. Rules is a good synonym for laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments. Rules and regulations. I would say, let's say guidelines. These are guidelines. It like later on in the scripture, when it comes time when they talk about Christ, there's a time where Christ heals people on the Sabbath day. And then there's like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and they're like, oh, you're breaking the Sabbath day, the law, because you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath day, and you're healing. And for a doctor or a physician to go to work on the Sabbath day, that's healing. They're doing work.
But it's a guideline. It's something you're supposed to do.
And then he said, well, look, our God, our Creator, Yud-Heh-Wah-Heh, Yahweh, gave us
a guideline,
the Shabbat for man. Man was not made for Shabbat. Shabbat was made for the man. He's like, which one of you, if you were coming home and your donkey or your horse or mule or whatever fell in the ditch, would not, even if it was like after sundown on the 6th day, making it the 7th day, which one of you would not ask your neighbor or your friend for help, or your, like, can we pull him, because what, you're going to leave him there? He might die if he stays in the ditch until the first day of the next week.
I feel like this is one lesson that has been lost through
time and through religion. Ultimately through religion. Man-made interpretation of God's law. Judgment, statute, and commandment. Absolutely.
People see this shit and take it too seriously. Taking those rules too seriously.
Even though they are serious and they're not to be taken lightly, it should be kept strict.
Of course. But it's for you.
Right.
It's for the good of you.
There's a purpose. Like when it comes to the dietary law, all of that has health benefits.
Yeah.
There's things that have existed in the Hebrew Torah and the Bible and the law for over, like, historically regarded by academics right now for 4,000 to 5,000 years that the world as we know it internationally have only accepted in the last 100 years, including showers and baths and sinks where you have to clean yourself with running water, to the point that in the 30s, they were still arguing about, like, doctors giving birth where like 40% of mothers and the child would die. Why? Because they would clean their hand in the same water with blood and dirt and infection. No running water, not anything. They would all just put it in the same water. Even after they go back in the same water. This is something that the Bible said, and the Torah said in the original scripture over 5,000 years ago. No, that the only way to do, and we've practiced home births for over 5,000 years, like where it's like you have to wash your hands properly. It's all about cleanliness. And like this is not in the Bible, though a lot of people say it is, but a very well-known quote or idiom is cleanliness is next to godliness. And that's a fact, in the sense that, like, you can't approach the throne of the Most High in any way, shape, or form if you're not right.
Dirty ass.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we don't like women with dirty ass feet. Go wash them feet. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if any of y'all have them foot fetishes or whatever.
I'm just kidding.
If it's dirty feet, do you still have that fetish? I don't know. That's not my thing. Honestly, it's a turnoff to me, kind of. You know? I'm not MC, Eddie Murphy in Boomerang talking about she got hammer time in the feet. I ain't with that. Like Martin Lawrence was saying, I ain't in the feet. It ain't about the feet.
Okay, yo. So that's the instrumental. I didn't even show the people yet.
Show the people.
So that's the instrumental. We
kind of bumped it for like 30 seconds. Exactly. Maybe earlier. All right, so we going to bump it a little
Maybe you don't
more?
like it anymore. maybe you.
Well, you have another one. You said
Yeah.
there's two, so we could.
Maybe you
throughout
grew
the
out
night-
of it.
I didn't grow. I mean, look, I liked it.
Okay.
When you explained it, it almost devalued it because you're like, oh, I did it so easily. I just did this,
It
and this.
devalued
in
it.
a second.
That's what it's
Oh, yeah.
fucked up.
But it's hot, so it's like
Exactly. When you know how it's made, it devalues it. But at the same time, whatever we make about it is what we sell.
That's crazy. You say that when you know how it's made, you devalue it. That's why they all try to devalue God.
Yo.
Because when they try to study it and they look at it from a scientific perspective, when they look at the Big Bang and all these other things, it's kind of like, oh, yo, we think we know how he did it. He did it. Like, oh, that's not so divine. That's not so. That's just natural. That's just evolution.
Exactly.
No. There's a cause to this effect. Y'all scientists out there, y'all all believe in cause and effect, right? Causality. That's what they call it, right? Action, reaction. So how could there be, like, you acknowledge we exist, right? I think, therefore I am. So if you're here and you exist and there is an existence, that's the effect. What's the cause? There must be some cause to this effect. There is an action that caused this reaction that is us here in this cosmic play that we live on in real time. There's a source.
To me, it's like, bro.
What is that source?
Yeah, to me, God.
I would say we can all know.
To me, God is a nice. For me, God is a nice way to express nature, the wind, the sea.
Yo, that's right. Some people say the universe. They say nature. Honestly, it gets more specific the more you know.
Yeah.
Like the same way they say the more you know, like the more questions you get answered, the more questions you have. That's true, but you're still getting closer. There's a lot of philosophies and faiths that say if you take one step towards God, He'll take 10 steps towards you.
Exactly, and then you can touch your nose. But what I like to think is that we actually have an esprit commun. Comment you say? Like
A universal soul, like a
universal mind type.
a universal mind,
That's
a one
like
mindedness.
that's
I
where-
believe we have access to that, but we're not all in it when we're cutting our.
Exactly. I feel
But
like
yeah.
that's where we go capture our ideas or your freestyles and all that shit. You go
You're not
catch this
wrong.
in the cloud because you have the Wi-Fi, high Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Some people don't even know the Wi-Fi. They didn't even enter their fucking password. They don't give a fuck no more. They're just like, yo, let me go to my job 9 to 5. I'm coming back. I'm gonna die. I don't give a fuck. But some of us try to tap into these motherfucking coincidences and all that bullshit. Hey, most of the time I sing songs that describe my life like 7 years later. I don't even know why. I don't know why I said some shit. I don't know what it means. But I'm talking to myself in the future, and that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I've been had it like Monkey made a tune off this right here, but back in the days I had that line. I said something like I don't know, like the bars are obviously multisyllabic with me, but it was something like an exhibition to improve you. While contemplating on predictions of the past, I'm reminiscing on my future.
Wow.
And reminiscing on my future became souvenir de mon futur, souvenir de mon futur, souvenir de
man.
mon futur, Monkey.
Classic.
Right, yeah. You know, that was on the Mektub to Auto Destruction album. Shout
You're
out
on
to
the song,
Sev
right?
D. I'm not on the song,
No?
but he told me he took the inspiration that night when I shared that with him. The next day he wrote it, put it on the Sev beat. Sev's the one that hit me up and told me, yo, he did this tune because Sev was there. Sev was like, oh, I heard the beat. But it's all love and it was great and it was beautiful. It's a hot tune.
I love that shit.
One day I'm going to make my English version, the premonitions of my future, the premonitions of my future. But it's the same thing, souvenir de mon futur.
Okay,
Like,
so earlier I asked you how you make music, but what I meant is, do you write your lyrics or you freestyle them?
Great question. Ultimately, I've gone about it many different ways, many different times. So, like when I first started, I used to always write with a pen and a pad before phones, tablets, and laptops and all of that. Used to always write on the pen and the pad. However, because I was really a student of the art, and I was like really a student of the game, and like a sincere, devout, like open-minded follower to the art form.
Jay-Z.
When it came to the freestyles, and to this day, there's a lot of debates. Like, to be honest, the freestyle does not mean off the top. It could include off the top, but a freestyle just means you're free to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and you can
it's the
take
same in
lyrics
almost
you wrote.
every sport. Like if you go to the Olympics and you do freestyle skiing,
But I know what you mean.
if you do freestyle swimming,
Because
if
when
you're
you-
faster at butterfly or front crawl or whatever, or
Yeah.
frog style, do that. Whoever gets there first wins.
I know what you mean.
It was freestyle. It
When
doesn't
you-
matter how you did
Exactly.
it.
When you listen to the first freestyle of like Jay-Z and
Those were songs
Big
or
L,
lyrics.
Big L.
Those are lyrics on other songs.
Yeah, you take they
Yes.
take like 4 bars here for
Yeah,
and
straight up, many times.
They do their flows.
And not to say there wasn't anything that was off the top, because this is it. Off the top is officially, like, off the top means spontaneously improvised in the moment. You know, now that's what I kind of specialize in. That's what I've become kind of well known for. Like I was saying earlier, I'm one of the highest, if not the highest selling Anglophone hip hop artist from Montreal. But I'm not known for that. And I'm not even aiming to be known for that. But what I'm most well known for,
freestyle.
Other than some of the things out in industry, in the streets, is for being one of Montreal's, if not Montreal's, like, best Anglophone freestyle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm very well known for.
I'm actually
So it's with that regard that I say, even that title, so to speak,
bro. You got
it's not freestyler, it's off the top.
Yeah.
Because like freestyle would be using anything, even writtens, choruses.
Off the top is actually the hardest shit ever.
Off the top is like everything around me, everything, like, to the point that, like, 9 out of 10, if you're good at it, people won't think you're doing it off the top. However, if you're actually doing it off the top, it permits you to use things in real time that
To prove it.
that no one can deny.
You prove it. No,
that
you
you're
prove it.
actually doing it off of the top.
You prove it.
There's very little
It's
or
proof.
no possibility that could have been prepared.
And you are actually.
And that's what I'm most well known for.
You're
that I've
actually
done
my number one. Every time I think about the first one, I'm like, that's for sure.
Yo,
LogiX.
much respect. I appreciate that. Honestly, I have a number one that's not me from the city too. And that's
Who
my
is
brother I mentioned earlier, Streets or Street Cypher Star.
Damn, like we
Like-
gotta invite him next time.
Over the years, like, the truth is we've had a lot of ups and downs and hardships, which is why he hasn't really produced very much music.
Like
That's
everybody.
why I mentioned the song he released.
But also because
recently.
making Anglophone music in Montreal is like making graffitis.
But I'm just saying him off the top though. Like, again, like, and that's me and him came up together like brothers, and we came up, like, you know how they say iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man, like iron sharpens iron. So we were very sharp in that for very many years, and I hadn't encountered anyone as sharp in the world.
You had a little competition going on.
Well, it was my brother. We, like, you know, we've never actually had that publicly, though we've done it a few times together. But we've gone out together many times. We used to
What
go
I'm
out
talking about is
and
that-
battle other people, and we just demolished all
But
of
I'm
them.
talking about
Right.
the in between the relationship, just the fact that you always want to show.
Right. Like, honestly, it's kind of what keeps you driven. It's almost on some Ryu and Ken shit. It's
The
almost
Beatles,
like Sasuke and Naruto shit, almost, when it comes to the rhymes.
You need their
over the
bravado
year.
type
That's
shit.
my brother there, like, to that degree. But though I have many like that, like I Blast, Last One, a couple others, but me and Street, that was some Ryu and Ken, Naruto and Sasuke. I get Goku and Sasuke. I mean,
It was me and-
Goku and Vegeta.
It was me and Raid. It was the same
You
shit.
and I, that's a wonderful. So all of that to say, it definitely brought the best out of us. And unfortunately, due to a lot of unfortunate circumstances and, like, external forces, my brother ended up being shot in the head and incarcerated, and he was in jail for many years. He lived, praise the Most High, he's still alive, able to move forward. But at that time, is literally around a year after I moved into the loft building that was right next door to where Monkey was living. And then me and Monkey lived, like, pretty much next to each other and together for 7-8 years. And we became brothers. And this is where
Monkey is the number one French freestyler in Montreal.
And me and him, this is where me and Monkey.
But
now,
how
my,
the fuck
my
do
other
you meet
brother's
like
in
this?
jail.
That's crazy.
Well, I met Monkey earlier than that. I had seen, first of all, I'd already seen his graffiti because I'm hip hop, so I was all about the graffiti, the breaking, the dancing, right, and of course the rapping and the DJing. But Monkey was already known with K6A and doing his thing. Now, at the time, my ex-girlfriend now, but at the time, my girlfriend, Miriam Sassy Medusa, who was part of Nomadic Massive, she'd actually just joined Nomadic Massive. She was already doing music with me at the basement with Kaliko, what I was talking about earlier, before we started the group Royal Peasants, which she was also a part of. But she joined Nomadic Massive with, like, shout out to all of them, Lupiensa, Voxambu, you know, Alice Pool, I don't want to forget nobody, Wally, Wiza, you know, Butterbeats.
That's the whole band?
All of them, the whole band. There's more of them. There's more
How
of
do you
them.
know all these names?
Well, I
bro?
know all of them personally, so respect to all of them. And the gal, shout out to all of you. You know, Rugged MC, there's many more that have participated and have been a part of the band over the years, including Narcissist and a few, which is where actually I met Monkey. Because Narcy joined Nomadic Massive, and he did a song with Monkey on, I think, Le Remedium, because he was working with Lopeshi, because they had this whole group, Ninth Majesty, plus he had his Euphrates thing, where Lopeshi was kind of involved with Nofi Fanon, rest in peace to Nofi Fanon as well. And they had some music coming out. And plus Narcy, you know, I believe he was born in Iraq and he grew up in Saudi Arabia and then came to Montreal or something like that. But without, correct me if I'm wrong, forgive me if I misinformed that, but he's Arabic, so to speak. And my girlfriend at the time, Miriam, was Arabic. So they kind of just connected naturally.
You were with Miriam?
Yeah, we were together for a few years back in the day. Shout out to her. Beautiful singer, doing her thing in the city, going hard, doing a whole bunch of things. Check out her newest videos with Visual Timekeeper. Shout out to you. You're great at what you do. Anyway, but yeah, so we were together at the time, and there was also, like, she became I Am Black Girl. At the time, she was a journalist, and she was, like, kind of documenting Nomadic Massive, and she started dating Lou Pienza, but Nantali. She still works with CBC right now, so yeah, a journalist for sure. But I Am Black Girl, she became a dope part of Nomadic Massive. Her and Miriam became friends. Miriam started connecting with them. Narcy was part of the group. Monkey had an album launch. Nomadic members were featured on the album. It was in the Old Port. I went down there with my girlfriend at the time, who performed with Nomadic, and I had already seen him a few times, but that was the first time me and Monkey actually met at the album launch to Le Remedium, his first album, and I think entirely produced by Lopeshi, who I also had met a few times in the city just because he was doing graffiti, but I met him through rap, because I became known for rapping. I would go, if someone else was rapping, if there was a cipher, if there was a battle, I would just enter it. It would be like, oh, you rap? You're whack. Forget that. Clack, but that. Like this, and this is what me and my brother used to do all the time, and we really, a lot of people have seen it. No cap. This is what I did, and this is how I became known as one of the best off the top in the city. This is what I did. All the time, no matter where I went, from RDP to South Shore to you know, I grew up in Uptown and around DG, but in Burgundy, Little Burgundy.
Everybody knows.
Everybody Montreal, like
Gang
Montreal
shit.
For sure.
That's why you the best.
All around Montreal.
Okay,
I've been other places, but Montreal is where I've done that
course.
in every neighborhood, with every French and English. And this is what I was saying about me and Monkey. Now, when we lived in this loft building, which, you know, was pretty notorious in the city, we started connecting a lot of artists in Quebec. The Anglophone and the Francophone hip hop community met there. Like within a 7-day period of time, you would have, like, on the Anglophone community, you would have everybody from, like, let's say, Magnum 357 to Narcissist, which is like almost the full spectrum of the Anglophone hip hop community in the same studio in the same week, to on the Francophone community, what ended up becoming like A La Claire Ensemble. At the time, they weren't even a group yet, but like Ken Lo, V Looper, you know, these guys, maybe Watson, you know, a whole bunch of others.
That's dope.
Up until like, and all the way to like, let's say Bad News Brown, rest in peace, you know, who used to come through sometimes and come to our events that we were doing with the Eyes Wide Open Artistic Peace Movement. Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot more we're going to get to, but I mean, hey, this is the first time, this is part one, like, you know what I'm saying? Part
big
one.
Big guy right there, bro. We got a big guest, motherfucker, bro. Big guest, big music.
Big host. We got some, so we're going to play a beat, we're going to...
Okay, let's play this fucking beat. A little trumpets, just to keep the jazz in. Hey, hey.
Woo.
I love the drum.
Yo, these rappers are whack, they bad actors. I need to use this microphone, I get at ya. If it's recorded or not, I still attack you. Like I said, these rappers are bad actors, they need a Razzie. Straight up, they ain't going fast enough to be speeding past me. Ooh, what did he say? Something, I could say nothing, but still so many different ways. I ain't bluffing, keep it real like all of the time. The same way they say God's good all of the time. Dropping my rhymes, never dropping no dimes. Just a freestyle, as some would say, it's off the top of the mind. Yeah, recorded while performing it live. I don't think that they prepared my organs as eyes, so I could see inside. Organized type of mind, or maybe organized rhyme. Shout out to Pharaoh Monch. Me, I bring it back so many ways to tear apart any rapper, their whole planet. I'm a terraform. It's a whole different state. When I spit and spray, hit your brain inside, never missing. If I did, it would ricochet and come back, and then probably like a court when you have a jury to deliberate. It would take a moment to think, and then it would straight go through where I wanted to, like a heat-seeking missile spitting so honorable. Off the top for you, this is urban logical, mixed with the star seed, Justin Wright, down Lennon too. What they wanna see, all of me, no hypocrisy in this hip-hop with me. Only realness, I hope that they feel it, sharper than a field tip. I'm like them soldiers in the field, yeah, ready for war, and it's deadly for sure. I'm with my man Omayela, like taquito, let me tell more. Matter of fact, I'ma break it down for sure, bruh. It's like Kengan Ashura. That's the main character, Oma Taquita. While we sit back, relax, and blow some reefer. Roll the Chiba, smoke it either way. I'm gonna smoke these MCs up with the ether. On some Nas stuff. Back in the days, I'm just rapping, having fun with my homie here. I don't think they know it, but till the coast is clear, I'ma keep going with the flow superior. So you know I have no peer, but I will eat an MC up like the skin teared off of a bear. When I'm making food, I like to have the vegetables and maybe fruit. Other than that, some grains and nutrients, vitamins and minerals. How we doing this healthy type of music? It's straight, nothing be out of context. Trying to break it down with this content. Pay attention, slow it down, no more nonsense. Only knowledge from Don Lennon's LogiX. So if you go back, it's with the urban men. We gonna do it. It's like a tournament, I'm winning if we gonna pursue and start working it. Don't deal with no serpents or no vermin, men. No, with the glasses on, rapping strong, yeah, ancient like the mastodon. I don't think they prepared how I'm rapping with my flagrant style. So many different ways to take them down. The beat is crazy, wow, I like it. I'm just having fun to make you smile. I hope you like it. The flow's precise with every single bar off the top. I know it's kind of like a poltergeist with the Dolomite tip. I'm angry, I'm banging, and I'ma go to bomb it. I don't think they want it, but I'ma still give it when I be ill, spitting off the top with skills written. No, this is straight up original, off the top improvised when I'm hitting you. Ain't no lyrical miracle. See, I can't even say it, cause that's not me, I'm too real for you. Straight up, put me in the grocery store, any box, I'll put you in a box, serial killer you. You get capped and crunched so many ways, I don't know what I had for lunch, but put a little bit of almond beverage with some maple syrup, and I'ma get it, yeah, it tastes good, represent from my neighborhood, UPT, Codenage, understood, and if not, it's okay, let me take it there. I've said it so many times, let me blaze the air, I'ma flame it there. Hot fire, anglais à français, or franglais, c'est la même affaire. Yo, the mem shows, let's go. Hot fire in your headphones till you hear it in your dome. I hope it pierces if you know the lyrics. I'm like an empiricist on point like pyramids. Yo, and I have pyramid classes. I don't think they ready for the superior ass kick. I spit it and I whip it when I'm ripping. I'm just delivering the flow. Do you wanna come and get it? Maybe mix with it. I wanna have your voice maybe flow chorus style, even if it's a verse in it. My mind will never stop. I could go on and on forever, but like the hands on the clock, they tick and talk. I was thinking 1 and 2 is better, not 2 heads are better than 1. So right now I'm just letting them come. Show them some of them flows for centuries to come, or maybe after this millennium's done, and they'll still be checking back on this video, even though they won't understand all the context in it though. So many ways to know when I spit it through. It's like a little tube I'm getting through. It's a freestyle, we're gonna make a song. Not to mention questions and answers with an interview. Yeah, the Q&A that you display through this screen, or with me here to you today. Drinking that Esco water from the mountains, from the Alps coming back off the top. My style is like a stallion, I'm running. I don't think they ready, have them dumping. I'm running non-stop with the shots. I'll reload if it's empty, then keep bucking. I'm bucking, trying to get bucks in. We wanna make money, though it's not all about that. It's just you needed to survive in the system. How about that? It's kinda whack when you think about the monetary gain and financial systems collapsing, man. In my opinion, we need knowledge-based economy. That's why I talk about autonomy and sovereignty and even axiology. It's a more sophisticated, complex system of barterage. So if you know about the barter system, pay attention to my lyrics on the rhythm. I'm just bringing knowledge to them, or knowledge kicking, always giving a lot of wisdom. It's like Thomas Aquinas with legal positivism. If you want to know about laws and bring it back to Portis jurisprudence, it's fraud. I guess I'll hit this and pass it back. I realize now why you hadn't rapped.
See, I said earlier that I devalued the beat because it was. So let's revalue it. So that's what we do with our voice, you know.
Let's revalue the beat.
Revalue the beat. Every time, baby, get it again now. Baby, she there now. Baby, come on. So tell me that. So play me now. Baby, man. Cause I know you're right. Hold me down again, I'll be feeling inside. Stays about it, it'll be holding down now. Baby, don't goddamn it, I'm feeling so cold now. Baby, gotta give it, it's all on my thing. Baby, get a hit, feeling just again. She knows I can't pretend it, cause I never wanna rock again. Oh, my love, that's a thing that I can never do, it's on the book. Say no, oh, I'm in love with it now.
Risen from above, down below, coming back, hit them in a mixture of some things they can't even contemplate. But it's okay, just take some time to sit back, relax, and concentrate. And then you can maybe think it through. It's okay if you need help, we'll be here with you. So just listen, dude. Go through your thoughts, self-discovery, pay attention to. You gotta see what's going on around you. Pay attention to the environment which surrounds you. Check out how this style do. We come closer together, around you. Check out the sound view. Meaning if you can see the sound, that's how the sound view. Shout out to my homies in New York, out in Soundview. Yo, we in Montreal, shout out uptown too. Or downtown zoo. DTV, that's downtown Burgundy. Shout out all of my homies that we see. Yo, my man J Uno on the saxophone. Shout out to you on the streets. Everybody knows. Top by Bad News Brown. Back in the days, R.I.P. to my man. How we say, praise but no idolatry. Just respect and paying homage. Honoring all the legends we've lost. Shout out to all the artists that's gone and forgotten. If they don't know, it's okay. Maybe next time they'll pick it up when it falls in autumn. As the seasons change, I'll be dropping so many different ways. You see the pain of all men and women too. The children who grow up regardless of the genders viewed. I know there's a lot of controversy around that, but we won't get into that right now. Facts. keep it like on Spotify. He asked the question before, why or why not on it? I will explain. Let me give a moment. Back in the days, artists made money. Now everything is stolen.
True.
How many cents you make off a song? How much you make off the album that you dropped all along? If you don't have a special deal like Chance the Rapper with Apple or Drake with Spotify back when he had that album, they came out and they got like exclusivity for at least 2 or 3 weeks that they couldn't buy it on any other album or platform that gives you streams. Well, at that time, that was a deal. They said he was independent. No, he signed that deal. So me, I'm trying to be independent for real. It's a whole different thing. Throughout the pandemic, used to live off the music, selling albums, cash, credit, and debit. But then that changed up because almost no one had money. No shows came up for like 2 to 3 years. I used to do like 3-4 a week. To do 3-4 in a year, yo, that was cheap. Had to return to the workforce. Had to work more. Some days contemplating going back to serve rum, but it was so much hard work for all of my people up in the workforce. Stimulus checks, or maybe in Canada, what did they call them? The CERB, y'all. Did you get it or not? Some could, some artists couldn't get it because their credit was flop and didn't have no history getting no guap. In the system with social insurance, let me tell him that your social insurance number is a sin. It's not a joke. I'm telling you for real, that's a transgression of law when I flow. But let's maybe stop for a minute, bro. Maybe we can get it in some more. Talking on this interview, you know. Cause like I said, I could rap and spit rhymes forever. But let's just take a break so we could stack some cheddar talking about whatever. Whenever, however. God bless you.
But I give up some days. It's so hard I can follow on alone. Baby, try to make me feel I gotta go. I'm crazy, it's a long day, but I keep it anyway. Find a smile and I don't care, cause I be moving by my head. I be longing. Yeah, tell me what you think, I cannot own it. Yeah, got all my feelings inside, I gotta push it. Baby, you cannot move it, but I keep it going something. Baby, you cannot come it that I own now. Yeah, tell me what you want now. It's better when I hold up, I gotta do my whole thing, going long. Fuck all them motherfuckers doing wrong. Cause I believe they're doing something good or good. No, 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 no. But make me do it again. No, 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 no. They're trying to burn me, man.
Stop fucking around. You wanna do more?
This guy's amazing. I mean, let's do more, but like, not just yet. Let's keep maybe on the next one.
Okay, you know? Dope idea.
In a minute.
Yo, fucking shit.
Just having fun, man. Just having fun.
It's fucking serious.
To go back on what you were saying earlier about like how I make songs, like it's gone from everything from writing to the beat to freestyling to the beat to somebody giving me a song that's just needing a verse and I hear a hook and you know, honestly, it's easier to write when you already have a direction.
Yeah, I know.
If you're given the
would you
lead,
be comfortable with me just taking fucking this and making a song with it and showing you?
I wouldn't be uncomfortable with it at all.
You down?
I think the overall, like the outcome.
You made enough.
I know there's enough. I guess my inhibitions as an artist would be like, hey, we could make a better song. That's very.
I mean, you'll see what I come together.
If your project is of that nature.
No, but you'll see what I come together.
So then I would have to tell you then.
Exactly.
So to speak.
And then if you can just re-rec whatever else you want.
Oh, that's dope. I mean, like I would love to maybe work on an actual song.
Do you have a microphone at home?
I do actually, but not that I use it regularly for that. But I could. I work with a lot of artists and a lot of producers where I can kind of come just do that. Plus, I do have my own equipment. But it's not something I used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
Right now, I haven't. I've been working more on the craft so that when I do go to do it, wherever I do it, I'm ready to do it. Be the sharpest and the most on point I can. Which goes back to your question of how do I do it. There was a period of time when my brother got shot in the head by police. Back in 2007. There's a period of like 2-3 months where I didn't rap.
I can understand.
No matter how much I tried, like, and I'm that type of guy that most people know me. Like, the beat comes on, I'm natural to it. Sometimes I'm turned off when people are like, yo, come freestyle, because it's like I'm already naturally inclined to it. So when that unnatural pressure's put, I almost am turned off. This was a whole different kind of unnatural pressure. Mm-hmm. It was like, I don't care how hot the beat is. I don't care how good the rapper is I'm with. my heart and soul isn't there right now. It's somewhere else.
Makes sense.
You know, and after about 2-3 months, at that time, me and my brother Blicky, you know, IDOT Blast, OVO, and all that right now, former RP Royal Peasants. Him and I, at that time, we ended up spending a lot of time together, driving around the city a lot. And our producers, like Theory, a couple others, will give us like CDs, and we would just put the CDs in the disc reader and play them while we're driving around, handling all of our business we had to take care of, and like the music would play, and we would just listen to it and make songs while we were writing. We wouldn't write anything down. And true say, he started doing it before me. A lot of people at the time had said Biggie or Jay-Z did it. It was kind of before Lil Wayne was known for it, but now Lil Wayne is also known as someone that didn't do it. And then like years went by and we just never wrote anything. We would normally come home or come back, because I had a studio at home. We'd come back to the home. It was a loft, the one next to Monkeys I was talking about. We had a pool table, a booth, everything. Come in there, we put the beat in, record it right away. And we would normally have like, he'd have his verse, I'd have my verse, we put the hook down, never wrote it. Even now, that's normally how I create my verses. However, with long-term sight, everything I finish, I write now. Because then later, if I publish it or I record it or whatever, now I have it. It's already written. I could, for the lyrics to be online, for everything. There's so many good reasons to write it. But in the creative process, I don't limit myself in any way. Like, I won't write it, or I won't use a phone, or I won't use a tablet, or I won't use a computer, or I won't use a pen and pad, which is what I grew up on. But even when I grew up on the pen and pad, I was freestyling with no pen and pad, nothing, off the top. Dang. So that's what really brought. So it's a combination of all of that, and a growth of all of that, the evolution of all of that, and integrating and mixing and working with such a wide variety of literally hundreds of artists in the last 25 years that have all contributed in one way or another to my experience and my growth process, in which I considered applying one or another element that was shared in my own artistic production and creativity.
So you down if I come together like more? I'm more going with the flows and shit. So
yeah, same here, bro.
Then if you want to rewrite or just take something.
Like what you have there, I'm totally cool with you using it and making it kind of what it is.
Exactly.
I was just saying, for me, in general, when I make a song, there's a little bit more structure to it in a direction, regardless of how it starts. To me, this is the type of thing that if I were to release, I would put it on what I would call like a off the top or freestyle album. Not necessarily mixtape, because it's original. It's an original beat. It's all original content. But it's like the premise, or somehow in which it would be shaped and molded for the view of the public, would be, this is not like
I know what you mean.
The full length
you don't
album.
Have a focus.
This is a.
You don't have a
this
focus
is a like in studio off the top project.
Yeah.
Maybe even have a name or a title that kind of.
But I feel like,
not to say that's what your whole project is.
No,
but if it was, that would be better suited for it, in my opinion. But not that it can't fit in your project, or I won't like.
But I feel like that's how I feel
green
like,
light its release.
I feel like that's how I create music. I just make a demo, a maquette of something that I feel like, this is a song. Okay, that's okay, because it's all about your feeling. And then after that, you listen to the lyrics. Does it make sense? Okay, I gotta change this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I go through it.
It's a process,
I feel like it's easy like that, because I just gotta redo it.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like sometimes, like it always depends on your goal or your ambition. Like if you want to do something, sometimes, like look, the tune I did with Monkey, I'll use that as an example. Check out my brother Monkey's new album, LeFou. Fire album. I think my feature is on track 8. It's called Monk Logic, Monk E, and Urban LogiX.
I love this album.
It's a dope album, dope song too. I want you to check it out. That's my most recent release. I haven't released anything in like 5-6 years. That's the first song that I'm on that's come out in a long time, and it is on Spotify, to my credit and whatnot. Even though I don't have my Spotify page, you can check it on Monkey's page. So.
But everybody go watch this fucking Bandcamp, bro. That's how it goes.
Oh, yeah, I have 2 albums on Bandcamp. I have 2 full albums on Urban LogiX Bandcamp that y'all could check and support. And then you could also go check out humblelux.com, where there's a lot of music, a lot of artists I've been working with for many years. Some of the music I've done over the years that's still there. And a lot of our merchandise. We throughout the pandemic, prior to that, we were a publishing company as Sovereign Music Movement. But we evolved during the pandemic into a cultural production company, Humble Lux, which is really a compound word for humble luxury. Ideally, that it's luxury quality products coming from a humble perspective, a humble people that are, as I said earlier, humility before honor. And the honor comes with the work, which is through the process since the pandemic. At first, like everything from clothing became part of it, but then it just totally became a lifestyle brand. So what initially started as just music, audio, then like some video and literary, which is part of the publishing. It expanded to a lifestyle brand that includes everything from sports, arts, entertainment,
You know what I feel?
health, lifestyle, diet, clothing, all
That's
the way
crazy.
out into back to our publishing with the entertainment, the
Humble
audio.
Lux.
Humble Lux.
So it's like Humble Luxury.
Yeah, Humble
love that
Luxury.
shit.
Check it out on
Okay.
everything.
You know what?
YouTube, Clan Supreme, check them out. Check out Instagram, all of that, Facebook.
You know what I think? I think we're trying to follow our master's teachings. And in our master's teachings, there were no stealing or robbing or,
Right.
you know.
Simple, all universal. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Should not bear false witness. There's no person that like would lose their brother or sister
Exactly.
that would feel good about it. So why would you want to take somebody's brother or sister?
Exactly.
If you lost your brother or sister, how would you feel?
See, morality.
And not just you lost them. You lost them by somebody else's hand. Something that maybe could have been avoided. It's not like they threw their life away or they, a freak occurrence, a natural disaster. No, somebody took their life away. How would that make you feel? It's a little different.
No, fuck that shit, bro.
Yeah, fuck that shit. No perfect. Ooh, it's the second beat. All right. It's a little more calming, a little more peaceful.
Exactly.
Makes me want to, a little more serene. Serenity. Is this still on?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, we getting there. While you do that, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're right. We've been sitting for 2 hours.
I used to count the time, but now I just make sure my time counts.
Hey, I don't need a nice watch to have a nice time.
Nope.
Don't need a nice car to have a nice ride. Don't need to go down in 11 ways. Feeling myself, but I can do it again. Baby.
I need a nice car to have a nice ride. Nighttime, and even when it's dark outside, I shine like daytime. Yo, so many days I've been struggling, thinking back on the times when I was hustling. Mama and dad, no rent, we suffering. Lights out, I come home, door locked, fuck again. It's not the first time. Made me think about life in the worst way, the worst kind. But then I opened up my third eye, started to look at things in different dimensions from a bird's eye view, looking over. You could see everything, even what happened in the sepulcher when it moved over, when the stone was rolled over by the angels for the Christ that came back. At least supposedly, if you study the history, if you know it's me, I'm just trying to put the words together and flow it free. Yeah, you could call it poetry or rap, rhythm and blues, rhythm and poetry. You know it's me, hot like the fire that burns in hell. Every time I light it up when I burn a L, or maybe a Lito, cause I'm not really with them Swifts no more. You see, bro? He used to have to see 3 POs. I'm talking about no Star Wars, just the life in the streets, bro. What's going on? The heat blows, hot fire, burning, barbed wire, cutting your skin when you running and you jumping away from what's going on. Top shotters, Don Dotters, so much going on. The Rock Wallers, dogs chasing out in the streets. I don't think they know what's going on. It's crazy, it's deep. Yo, so many ways you could eat, but also so many ways to get beat. Yo, I don't even think no more. I just act. It's kind of like fight or flight. But so many different things that change up in my mind state every day and every night. It's like, what am I gonna do here today? I try to think of a clearer way, like the clouds clearing the sky on the clearest day. Open my mind in the most free way I can here today. If you hear today, do you hear today? Open your ears and pray, because there's so much going on that should make you fear today. We in the last final days, if you hear me, hey? Yo, do you hear me? Wait. Time's patient till the pearly gates. I'm trying to get deeper till an early grave. They say the good die young. I'm still here today, so I guess I'm not as good as I would have liked to be, but I'm still trying to live righteously. In the name of God, on this mic you see, I kind of display it like a microfiche. Oh, that's a projector. I bring it back like professors back in the classes, semesters when I was going to school. Even though I'm still there as a student in the school of life, and I will bear all of the force like a man in a wheelchair. I roll through every day, going down. I will share my thoughts and intuitions so I can try to provide help to all the children. Yo, shout out to all of the men and women, especially those that are trying to stay away from sinning. The ones that are, I'll see you when I see you. What's going on? It's getting too deep, dude. It's like a medieval West high noon shootout. We going out when I ride through. Like they ain't really prepared for my rivals. So many ways to go, and I do. Cause I'm married to the streets like I do. So I get engaged, that's how I do. I get engaged, that's how I do. Until your brains and your minds blue. What you want to do? Merci and thank you.
Feeling me going on, I can't pretend. Hey, my baby, everything is understand now. She wanna tell me, but she don't pretend now. Hey, her love is on the run now. I can't believe she wanna back. I ain't gotta bring it back, but I ain't there. It's too loud. Hey, so many times I keep feeling like my fuck, I already freestyle on this motherfucking shit.
Oh yeah, with who?
Yeah, but a long time ago. It fucked me up.
It's all good. It's all good.
I don't have inspiration of this one. I don't know why. I feel like it might come back. But
No more. I just act. It's kind of like fight or flight.
crazy. You had the fucking crazy bars. That was amazing.
I can't get enough, but she tell me why. I ain't not love my love. I'm in love today. Fuck. Nah.
You want to do another freestyle again?
I'm open to it. Maybe let's do it. I don't know how much longer our time is set for tonight, but maybe let's shift for a minute and come back to the freestyle. We did one beat, we did this beat, and you said you're not really feeling you already used it. So maybe we could use something else, even if it's a YouTube beat like you were saying earlier. But before we get to that,
I got more.
maybe let's, or you got more, which is even better in my opinion. Perhaps we can shift it to, not to say a conclusion, but maybe we can, like, a temporary conclusion, like a where we leave off until the next.
Exactly. That's
You
a good
know,
idea. Too.
kind of bring it into something like that, since we already been like 2 hours. You
Yeah,
know?
and also it's late. It's 1:30. Yeah.
It is 1:30. Yeah, so then it's actually been more than 2 hours. Maybe we only been recording for 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been recording for 3 now.
3, yeah, it's 3 now. So, you know, that's 3 hours of content for y'all content producers, you know.
That's intense.
We're content creators, as they call them, right? Humbleux, that's cultural producers. You got to go back to the source, the origin, the cultural production. The content creation. You know how many of y'all create content out there that really has no value? Respectfully, I'm encouraging you to create content with value. I'm not saying stop creating content or you're whack, even though I do find some people should not continue creating the type of content they're creating, and it is whack. I'm encouraging creating better content and go back to a source of maybe cultural production. Like, what is the inspiration? What is the purpose of your content in your creation? You know what I'm saying? Is there any culture in that? What type of produce are you producing? What is the product? What is the result? What is the fruits of your labor? Is it good? Can we all share in it, agree that it's good? If so, keep doing that. If not, maybe if you want to keep producing, go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and like come back with something better for everybody, including yourself. In my opinion.
Yo, that was preach.
I myself, that's my own advice to myself too. So I'm giving that to y'all.
Exactly. Just be a little bit more harsh on yourself. Be a little bit more selective.
Not to say don't like never release anything or whatever, but make sure you.
So here's my not because it's not because you made a song that it's a good song always. You know what I mean? People don't even question themselves anymore. It's crazy. Okay. That's dumb. Is it good?
All right, like it is good, but you know why it's good? It's not necessarily great. Like I feel like it would require more elements to be a complete production, right? But this is the type of thing you could just like it's looped up. You could just go on this. You know, I could go on this, and the type of thing because of that. What is that? Like a flute or the type of high note it hits makes me want to do something different. Makes me want to
Okay, let's have fun then.
I love having fun. Let's have fun.
Okay, just so say goodbye anyway. That's fine.
This is kind of a goodbye to y'all. You know, to be continued. We'll carry on if y'all. By the way, you know, I know we're gonna do the shout outs after, like you said, but like, you know, if any of what I said rubs you the wrong way, I'm not shy. Like, hit me up. Let's discuss it.
Beef.
From Hebrew to Jew to like hip hop community, Anglophone, Francophone, me and Monkey, whatever it is, Humbleluck, Sovereign Music Movement, the history, Escalier, anything I talked about tonight, let me know. Because, like, honestly, I feel more needs to be shared.
Yeah, let's open. It's time to collect, motherfuckers.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Exactly, motherfuckers. But yeah,
honestly,
I just want to make it's business time, bro. It's business time. I'm good. Now we've been making humble music for a long time, but now it's time to get on the art René Angelil gang shit. Imagine I gotta add a little. You know what I mean? But otherwise, it's pretty already there. We can make a classic with this. Ain't got 10,000 many days I've been falling in love. I've been getting love in me. I'm baby trying to get it back, but I never tried to. Fuck. Baby, I ain't got it love, man. So many days falling the same. I try to be back again, nobody but me. Okay, where is it? Fuck. What is happening? Don't loop it.
Where?
Okay. And that money time. So many to do it and I ain't got to lie. So many pretending but I never. Baby, I ain't gotta love him. Time's gonna make it happen, baby, anytime. So you wanna live it. You're damn alone now, baby, gotta rock it. So many days. Yeah, so many days that I really love you now. I can't get enough again. Tell me you need it now. Yeah, I can love me. Fuck's kinda hard to see in this. But rap is gonna be amazing.
He said it's gonna be amazing. That's kind of like the flavor after June. It's amazing. And you don't get it, it's okay. Figure it out because it's kind of deep how the July, if you listening now, Caesar Augustus, that's where August comes from. If you don't know the names of all of these months done, and even month from the French moon to Latin or Espanol Luna, that's where it comes from. That's why Monday is the Munda, or Moon Day. Or what they say in French is Lundi, that's La Lune, eh? Yo, all of the names of days and planets come from pagan gods. Do you understand it? If not, that's okay, we could break it down. It's not random, study history and etymology to grasp it. Me, I drop the knowledge, almost kinda random off the top, the freestyles, but straight up, it's all facts, kid. So you could fact check, do your research. When I'm shooting these words, I'm just moving free like birds when they flying through the sky. When I'm rhyming these lines off the top of my mind, I get high and so high. In many ways, the la 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 la. Having fun with my man Omayela. So yo, what is it you wanna see? I could freestyle, but I'm tryna sing and come with something deep. Maybe hot like in heat, coming from the street when guns go beep, 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 pew, pew, pew. What you wanna see? This is how we provide it. My style is I'm rhyming, loud, getting fly like I'm rising. Like a Gaza shooting water, coming water. Tryna hit so many ways, but check it, keep it wise, man. Hustling downtown somewhere near Wiseman. Going to Park X to chop next. I don't know if they could understand, we got texts. Oh, you thought it's guns? I mean, I sent you a message you ain't get? Wait, there's more ways to explain and say the things I do every single little day. Like, hey, hey. Just trying to flow free, okay, having fun like he said before, so let's let it run. And I bust it off like guns when I dump, no toilet flush, get it like the royal flush. Your boys and us, we royal up. So many different ways it's hot, like we boil it up. Past the boiling point for you, it's hot, fire, smoke it up. Yeah, boy, we
Smoking,
smoking it some days, leave them stunning. Legs tired, hear my calves and my thighs from all the running.
Oh, I get to running. Baby, she don't need no loving. I ain't got a lover. Baby, try to make me go about to something. Nah. So many times I can't love her. But times it made me give it in. Je pense l'alcool m'a hit, je pense.
Ah,
Même si j'ai pris juste un baisse.
even one half a beer.
I know.
IPA.
Juste dans ma gueule. Every day the same, but I've been living out baby, every day. But sometimes I'm walking that I don't mind wishing need a baby. Gonna let me try, but hey, baby, ain't no time to wreck it, but I need love. So many times she come back, but I don't need enough. Baby, don't mind, I gotta get down again. So many times she be rhyme again. Everybody knows I gotta get it, and you need it. Sometimes, baby, so naughty, I'm right. My baby get the loving, but she need me sometimes. Ooh, nah. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Grew up blazing some herb, yeah. Like me and my homies, we was slang on the curb. So many different ways to express these different things in these terms, so use it singing in words. Let me maybe confirm some of the things they can't believe. It's unexplainable, sir. What I've experienced and seen, it's beyond belief. It's kinda hard to explain. Let me try to G. I will tell them from Celine Dion to Rock Voisine to Arcade Fire to Simple Plan. No one's as hard as me to come out of this province. Though they're the only ones that have outsold me when it comes to records coming out and dropping. Please. They had labels, investments, but the profit they made off of their records was probably less than we did. Sovereign music movement, we've been doing things on the humble, make luxury kid. Nowadays you gotta check it, the method we wreck with, so represented door to door, every floor. We check them, yo, knock and ring bells like ringtones back in the days, but now we spit phones, hip hop in your hip bone, make they body get low and maybe raise high at the same time. So many ways I inebriate minds like St. Ides, or maybe all of them. They don't even understand the way rhymes may ride like a wave. I keep going, let me show them. I'm burning paper more than them joints you're rolling. But But normally for me it's blunt to grab. But what's going on? So many people. Me, I'm so blunt, I'll grab you. Off of the scene, I take you away. If you trying to do something like start invading my space or taking my place, no, I won't let that. I'm coming for that get back. Yeah, this is that like ninja with the jet black. Shout out to Meth Man. Back on that Biggie tune. F the world if they understand how I get with goons. We've been kicking in doors before Notorious. I've been trying to raise the Most High's name is glorious. But the way I have to do it is through hard times. Represent with strong grind. Doing it on and offline with my man, yeah. Coming with that man clear. Trying to sing and bring elements I can't hear. Can you hear? I hope you can hear. Get up in that like a pass me. Bring that ass here.
Hey, sometimes I'm feeling like I'm ready there. Oh, my love, she tell me when she need me there. Oh, my love, she tell me when she can again.
Tell me.
Oh, my love, every day's not the same, but she telling me lies. Baby, coming again now. She want me surprised. Baby, let me be everything, but she getting lie. Put on my day now, my baby, can I love her? Keep on tell me, but oh, mama, tell me she need to get up, but she won't, mama. Then I might get a lover, she said, mama. Every day, you know, mama. Mama want my baby darling, but she tell me it's already done. Hey, we gotta run, baby, gotta run. So many times I try, baby, you're smiling, I'm fine, get that. Hey,
Yeah, you told me many times. Yeah, I be going on a steady grind. Trying to get my mind on point, I lead a mesmerized. Check inside, off the top, I'm trying to testify. No bearing false witness, I just let it ride. Trying to keep it real, you fake, I don't let it slide. Take away anything that they get with mine. Me and my peeps lasting with forever shine. So the light bright like a light bright. Ain't a game if you playing, check me on the night. Like maybe in the daytime, I be like a day walker. Any of you blood suckers, I got the blade on my piercing. So I'ma take it out and pierce him. It ain't no Pierce Morgan, but it's like Bronze Pierceman, or wait, Pierce Bronson. I'm a golden eye, flow with rhymes. So watch how I unload the 9. When I come it clean, busting those, it fires in the double screen. If you know the game, bring it back in 9. Nintendo 64, spitting raw, I'm hitting y'all, throw me in jail. I'll do a prison tour. I don't think you raw. Me, I keep it harder now. Rockin' styles off the top right now. It's dominant. If they could understand the consequence, then maybe they would know that there's more than 7 continents beyond the ice wall and shit. Antarctica, if you know about the trade. Or wait, maybe I should say a different word, because we're all still slaves in their documents. If you were going read on their page, Dominitus Capitis. Check out Straw Man's Law. Me, I'm just spitting it accurate. It's facts within all of the knowledge and gems. I'm spitting it. Lyricists trying to deliver them like Moses delivered them back in Exodus. I'm talking about Leviticus, the Bible. We're talking Hebrews up in Egypt. Egyptian, it's a bit different nowadays, but America's modern day Egypt. And they call my ancestors gypsies on my mother's side because they come from Egypt, and they say that they were gypsies and they were being gypped. It's not right, it's not true, but straight up, I got you. I could rewrite history and make all the wrongs true. We could do it with God's truth. I put it beyond you when I drop these freestyles. Check out my albums in volumes. And then raise the volume, cause I'm known for moving that loud. What's going round? They don't move with this child. I'm doing it now since a juvenile. I hit them in they mouth with punches like a root canal. I don't think you do it now. Straight up a Buddha child. Wait, shout out to Buddha child, my homie out in DG. I wonder how you're doing now. Shout out to your family. I know you had 2 youths right now, or maybe you're at 3. I gotta check up and be not latent. I gotta catch up on all the Montreal biz, though I'm watching from beyond the grave, cause I was dead and then I risen and resurrected. Now I'm on them. So from back in the days, everybody around my timeline, to everybody doing their things right now, I'm watching you wise guys with my eyes wide open. I'm flowing, rhymes going so many different ways. My mind's growing exponentially, omnipresent, omniverse, beyond the multiverse. When I drop a verse, just watch the words, trace it back in so many different ways. You wanna work? Then let's get it in. Since about 30 years ago, I've been setting trends. Montreal, let's come and get it with him. Urban LogiX, Don Lennon, man. Google me on the internet, the gods trending them.
Yeah.
Star C, Justin right off the top.
Much
This is
love.
like a shotty when it's straight.
Thanks everybody for watching. It was Urban LogiX, Don Lennon, and much more names.
Until the future with me and Oma.
We see you soon. Thank you
Like
for
Kengan
watching.
Ashura.
Peace out.
One of my favorite anime, by the way. Kengan Ashura.
Okay.